Can you hear me, Your Honor? Oh, I can hear you now, Your Honor.
Okay, thank you. Before we proceed any further, in the event that there may be a victim or victim's family is appearing or hearing this at a later date, I do need to provide the victim rights advisement. If you are the victim of a crime with the case pending before this court, you are advised that you have rights under Arizona law that, among others, include the right to be treated with fairness, respect, and dignity, to a speedy trial, to be present at court proceedings, to choose whether or not to be interviewed by the defendant or the defendant's attorney, to be heard before the court makes a decision on release, negotiation of a plea, scheduling and sentencing, and to receive restitution from a person who is convicted of causing your loss. If you have not already been provided with a written statement of all victims' rights, please contact the Victim Services Division of the Prosecutor's Office. Mr. Bazzario, would you like to state your appearance at this time?
Thank you, Your Honor. Greg Bazzario appearing on behalf of the state.
My apologies for mispronouncing your last name.
That's okay, Your Honor. It took me a few years to learn how to say it too. So,
Mr. Castillo, you are here today on a new case. You've been charged with the following: one count of murder in the second degree, a Class 1 felony, and one count of aggravated assault, a Class 3 felony. The date of these alleged offenses is September 25th of 2025. I did find probable cause as to both of those charges. I did appoint an attorney to represent you. You will have a status conference hearing on November 24th at 8:30 and a preliminary hearing on November 26th at 8:30. Prior to the hearing, the court did have the opportunity to review the victim impact statement as well as the state's written recommendations. Mr. Bazzario, I know I'm saying your last name wrong. I'm so sorry.
that's quite all right, Your Honor. No problem.
On behalf of the state, do you want to make a record of anything?
The only thing I would add to the written recommendation, I feel it's very thorough, but I had a chance to look at some other material, and just with regard to the portion of the recommendation that addresses the potential flight risk of the defendant, I would note that in both his felony convictions, both of those convictions involved flight from law enforcement officers after vehicular collisions. So just further support for the bond of $1 million that we're requesting.
Thank you. And I am confirming that that request is for $1 million cash.
Correct.
Thank you. I did have the opportunity to review the criminal history of Mr. Castillo, as well as taking into consideration of the seriousness of the offenses, the victim impact statement, and the recommendations of the state, in weighing all the factors here, primarily the information that was provided regarding what occurred at the time of the offense, what was observed or what was reported by alleged witnesses, and just the severity of the charge. I do believe that it is appropriate to order a cash bond in the amount of $1 million. If you are able to post bond, you will be released to pretrial services on electronic monitoring. You cannot return to the scene of the alleged crime. You cannot possess any weapons, and you cannot have any contact with the deceased victim's family. Then moving to your probation violation matter, I did appoint an attorney to represent you in that matter. You will have a probation revocation possible disposition hearing on November 24th at 8:30. In that matter, you are not bondable. The court finds that there is a reasonable likelihood that you will be facing a period of incarceration for that offense. So the issue of bond will be addressed at your hearing on November 24th at 8:30. This takes care of everything that I needed to talk to you about this afternoon. If you do not have any questions for me, if you will please step to your left, the officer will give you your paperwork. Okay. Thank you. Is there anything further from the state? Yes, you may. Thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Duran, will you please come to the podium? And Amber Franz, if you'll please have a seat in the chair by the door. Sir, can you please state your first and last name and your date of birth?
Andres Duran, 10-781.
You are here today on two matters. You have one new case and then you have a child support warrant. On your new case, you were charged with one count of operating a chop shop, a Class 2 felony, one count of possessing narcotics for sale, a Class 2 felony, one count of possession of dangerous drugs for sale, a Class 2 felony, 4 counts of theft of means of transportation, a Class 3 felony, and 1 count of possession of a weapon during a drug offense, a Class 4 felony. The date of these alleged offenses, starting January 12th of 2025, June 5th of 2025, September 25th, 2025, October 8th, 2024, and November 17th of 2025. I did find probable cause as to all of the charges except for the possession of the dangerous drugs for sale. I did appoint an attorney to represent you in this matter. You do have a status conference hearing on November 24th at 8:30, and you have a preliminary hearing on November 26th at 8:30. You do have a secured appearance bond in the amount of $25,000. If you are able to post bond, you cannot have any contact with the alleged victims, and you cannot possess any weapons. Failure to comply with your release conditions or failing to appear for your court date would result in the loss of any bond that you post. A warrant would issue for your arrest, and additional bond would be imposed. As to your child support warrant, you have a return hearing in the event that you are not able to post bond. You'll have a return hearing on November 20th at 10 a.m. in front of your family court judge, and that warrant had a bond in the amount of $500. That is a purge amount, which means that you have to pay the full $500 in order to be released. So your total bond between the two cases is $25,500. The first matter is secured appearance, so it's 10% of $25,000, so it's $2,500 plus collateral in order to secure your release. This takes care of everything that I needed to talk to you about today. If you have no questions for me, feel please step to your left. The officer will give you a
I do. I got a continuing medical from the VA that I go to every week, twice a week, for my PTSD and traumatic brain injury that I have. And during this time of year is really when it aggravates the most. I was in Operation Phantom Fury in Fallujah, Iraq before, and I got issues from that. And also I think there's a big misunderstanding on those charges, on what went on and everything else.
We're not really going to talk about the charges. That's why I've appointed an attorney to represent you. So whatever concerns or defenses you may have to that, that's what you would discuss with your attorney, and that's what you would address moving forward in front of the assigned judge. Today is not for that.
So, can I point with the collateral and the 2,500 or 500?
So I'm going to just kind of lay it out so that it's
Okay.
clear. So secured appearance means it's 10% plus collateral of whatever your bond is. So on your new case, I ordered a secured appearance bond in the amount of $25,000. 10% of that is $2,500. So to secure your release, it's $25,000. If you go through a bonding agency, the bonding agency will decide what they will accept for collateral for posting your bond.
Okay.
Does that make sense? And then for your child support matter, you have to pay the full $500 for that. So it's basically $3,000 to get out. Anything else?
No.
Okay. If you'll step to your left, the officer will give you your paperwork. Amber Franz, will you please come to the podium? And Todd Thomas, if you'll please have a seat in the chair by the door. Hello, ma'am. Can you please state your first and last name and your date of birth?
Amber Franz, 33095.
You are here today on a new case. You were charged with one count of aggravated assault, a Class 3 felony. I did find probable cause as to that charge, and I did appoint an attorney to represent you. You do have a status conference hearing on November 24th at 8:30 and a preliminary hearing on November 26th at 8:30. Prior to the hearing, I did have an opportunity to review a victim impact statement that was provided. I will note that the alleged victim is requesting the release of the defendant. The court has considered the request of the alleged victim as well as the history of the criminal history of the defendant, as well as the information that was provided in the probable cause statement. I will note that some of the alleged facts that are concerning to the court is that an instrument was used in the assault, and also there is information provided that there's prior domestic violence history. And that there is a concern regarding the frequency or intensity of the increasing domestic violence. So in taking into consideration all of those things, I do feel that it is important to ensure the safety of the alleged victim as well as the community. With that in mind, I believe that a secured appearance bond in the amount of $15,000 is appropriate. If you are able to post bond, you will be released to pretrial services on electronic monitoring. You cannot return to the scene of the alleged crime. You cannot initiate any contact with the alleged victim, and you cannot possess any weapons. If there are any orders of protection or orders against harassment that are issued, you must comply with the terms of those orders. You cannot reside at the same location as the alleged victim. You would be permitted one civil standby with local law enforcement to assist you in collecting your essential belongings. And you are cautioned that if you violate the no victim contact order in this case, you could be charged with aggravated harassment, which is a Class 6 felony. Failure to comply with your release conditions or failing to appear for your court dates would result in the loss of any bond that you post. A warrant would issue for your arrest and additional bond could be imposed. Looks like you have a question.
Yes, ma'am. So I didn't assault anybody, but
You remember at the beginning when I was telling you to not talk about your case?
Okay.
You don't have the benefit of an attorney here with you right now.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. So I also have another question. I did not understand. So the alleged victim is currently residing in my
I understand that.
and I know he put in there that he understands that that is my home and that's my lease. Is that something that
what I said is that you cannot reside together at the same location.
Okay. All right. I understand.
Okay. All right. Anything else?
No, ma'am. That's it.
Okay. If you'll step to your left, the officer will give you your paperwork.
Okay.
Then, my apologies. Mr. Thomas, can you please state your first and last name and your date of
Yes,
birth?
ma'am. Good morning or good afternoon. My name is Todd Thomas, 10/20/1965.
Thank you. You are here today on a new case. You were charged with one count of disorderly conduct with a weapon or a dangerous instrument, a Class 6 felony. I did find probable cause as to that offense, and I did appoint an attorney to represent you. You have a status conference hearing on November 24th at 8:30, and you have a preliminary hearing on November 26th at 8:30. I am going to order a secured appearance bond in the amount of $5,000. If you are able to post bond, you cannot initiate any contact with the alleged victim and you cannot possess any weapons. Failure to comply with your release conditions or failing to appear for your court date will result in the loss of any bond that you post. Warrant would issue for your arrest and additional bond could be imposed.
May I ask that the bond be dismissed because I need to get my motor home back out of impound. It's my house, ma'am. I mean, I'll lose it. I'll lose my house.
I will let you know that I did review your criminal history, and I know that you were very recently just placed on probation. And
no, I was finished with. I did the 3 years probation. My probation officer didn't fill out the paperwork. That's why it was continued, ma'am.
So with that being said, you are still on probation, and one of the terms for all people who are on probation is that you're not to possess any weapons.
I didn't.
And so we're not going to. I'm just letting you know why I did what I did. So I know that you were just recently continued on probation. So, and I believe that hearing happened very recently. I think it happened last month, if I'm not mistaken. And then I'm also looking at your criminal history, which was also concerning to me because there's a history of assaultive behaviors. I believe there's actually 2 prior convictions for felony convictions for assaultive in nature. And so now, we're here today with the allegation that that disorderly conduct occurred involving a weapon. So I believe that a bond is appropriate to ensure the safety of the community, and also to ensure that you will appear for your court dates as well, because I do note that you recently had a failure to appear for a court date.
I was in rehab for that. And they wouldn't let me come to
sir, you're
court.
asking me to explain to you, and you continue to interrupt me while I'm talking.
I'm sorry.
I'm not really sure what more there is to discuss, because I did ask to not be interrupted.
Yes, ma'am.
So those are the reasons for the bond. I don't think there's anything more for us to talk about. If you will please step to the left, officer will give you your paperwork. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Herman, will you please come to the podium, and Joshua Billings, will you please have a seat in the chair by the door? Hello, sir. Can you please state your first, last name, and your date of birth?
Dan Herman, 8/14/68.
You are here today on 3 matters. You have 2 probation violation warrants and 1 new case. On your new case, you were charged with 1 count of possession of a dangerous drug, a Class 4 felony, and 1 count of possession of drug paraphernalia, a Class 6 felony. I did not find probable cause as to either charge. I did appoint an attorney to represent you in this matter. You do have a status conference hearing on December 3rd at 8:30 and a preliminary hearing on December 5th at 8:30. Now, while I did not find probable cause today on these charges, it does not mean that the charges have been dismissed. You will need to appear for your court dates on December 3rd and 5th. The information that is missing today can be provided at a later date that would allow the court to make the probable cause finding. Moving on to your warrants for violating probation, I did appoint an attorney to represent you in both matters. You will have a probation revocation possible disposition hearing on November 24th at 8:30. Each of your warrants has a secured appearance bond in the amount of $250, so your total secured appearance bond between the 2 cases is $500. If you are able to post bond, you do need to appear for those court dates. Failure to do so would result in the loss of any bond that you post, and warrants would again issue for your arrest. This takes care of everything that I needed to talk to you about today. If you have no questions for me, if you'll please step to your left, the officer will give you your paperwork. Thank you. Mr. Billings, will you please come to the podium? And Lonnie Aram, will you please have a seat in a chair by the door?
Joshua Billings, 1987.
Did you say October 18th?
Yeah.
Okay. You are here today because a warrant was issued when you failed to appear for a court date. An attorney was already appointed to represent you in this matter. You do have a status conference hearing on November 24th at 8:30 and a preliminary hearing on November 26th at 8:30. Your warrant had a secured appearance bond in the amount of $500. If you are able to post bond, you must appear for your court date. Failure to do so would result in the loss of any bond that you post. Another warrant would issue for your arrest and additional bond could be imposed. This takes care of everything that I needed to talk to you about this afternoon. Thank you. Mr. Aram, if you'll please come to the podium, and Chance Keel, if you'll please have a seat in the chair by the door.
Do I stand right here?
Yes.
Okay. All right.
Can you please state your first, last name, and your date of birth?
Lonnie Aram, May 19th, 1978.
You are here today on a new case. You were charged with one count of possession of a narcotic drug, a class 4 felony. I did find probable cause as to that offense, and I did appoint an attorney to represent you. You will have a status conference hearing on December 3rd at 8:30. Then you will have a preliminary hearing on December 5th at 8:30. I am inclined to release you to pretrial services, which means that I will release you back into the community without bond, but your release will be supervised by pretrial services. You do have to promise to appear for your court date. Do you promise to appear for your court date?
I do.
You cannot return to the scene of the alleged crime is one of the release conditions that I'm highlighting with you. Failure to comply with your release conditions or failing to appear for your court dates would result in a warrant issuing for your arrest and a bond would be imposed. Do you understand?
I do.
Okay, that takes care of everything I needed to talk to you about. If you don't have any questions for me, just to your left, officer will give you your paperwork.
Thank you.
Mr. Keel, will you please come to the podium? And Cornelius Tate, will you please have a seat in the chair by the door? Well, sir, can you please state your first and last name and your date of birth?
Chance Keel, January 11th, 1990.
Sir, you were here today on a new case. You were charged with one count of possession of a narcotic drug, a class 4 felony, one count of possession of drug paraphernalia, a class 6 felony, and one count of false report to law enforcement, a class 1 misdemeanor. I did find probable cause as to the possession of narcotic drugs and the false report to law enforcement. I did not find probable cause as to the possession of drug paraphernalia. I did appoint an attorney to represent you. You do have a status conference hearing on December 3rd at 8:30 and a preliminary hearing on December 5th at 8:30. I am inclined to release you to pretrial services, which means I will release you back into the community without bond, but your release will be supervised by pretrial services. You do have to promise to appear for those court dates. Do you promise to appear for your court dates?
Yes, I do.
One of the release conditions is that you cannot return to the scene of the alleged crime. Failure to comply with your release conditions or failing to appear for your court dates will result in a warrant issuing for your arrest and a bond would be imposed. Do you understand?
I do.
Okay, this takes care of everything that I need to talk to you about. If you have no questions for me, you'll please step to your left, officers. Give you your paperwork.
Sir. Thank you.
Mr. Kelsey, will you please come to the podium? And Cornelius Tate, will you please have a seat in the chair by the door?
Right at that podium, sir.
Hello, sir. Can you state your first, last name, and your date of birth?
Anthony Kesley, 9/18/68.
Sir, you are here today because you have a warrant out of Encanto Justice Court. Due to the nature of the charge, you are not entitled to court-appointed counsel. You do have an arraignment hearing on December 4th at 1:30. I am inclined to release you on your own recognizance today. You do have to promise to appear for your court date. Do you promise to appear for your court date?
No, ma'am.
You do not promise to appear for your court date?
No, I don't have any questions.
No, I'm asking you, do you promise to appear for your court
Oh, yes,
date?
yes, ma'am. Yes, Your Honor.
Failure to appear for your court date will result in this warrant issuing for your arrest again, and a bond would be imposed if you come back. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, so if you don't have any questions for me, you may step to your left, officer. We'll give you your paperwork. Mr. Tate, will you please come to the podium? sir, can you please state your first and last name and your date of birth?
Cornelius Tate,
Your date of birth?
3/3/1993.
Thank you. You are here today because a direct complaint was filed where you were charged with one count of possession of a narcotic drug, a Class 4 felony. The date of that alleged offense was June 18th, 2025. I did appoint an attorney to represent you. You will have a status conference hearing on December 3rd at 8:30. You'll have a preliminary hearing on December 5th at 8:30. I am inclined to release you to pretrial services, which means I will release you back into the community without bond, but your release will be supervised by pretrial services. You do have to promise to appear for your court dates. Do you promise to appear for your court dates?
I promise.
Failure to appear for your court dates or failure to comply with release conditions will result in a warrant issuing for your arrest and a bond would be imposed. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, that takes care of everything that I needed to talk to you about.
Thank you.
Sandy Johnson, date of birth, May 1st, 1979, is here on two matters. Mr. Johnston is not physically present in court due to combative behaviors. On his new case, he was charged with one count of attempted armed robbery with the threat of use of force of a weapon, a Class 2 felony, and 3 counts of criminal damage, defacement of property, a Class 1 misdemeanor. I did find probable cause as to all of the charges, and I did appoint an attorney to represent him. He does have a status conference hearing on November 24th at 8:30 and a preliminary hearing on November 26th at 8:30. He has a secured appearance bond in the amount of $50,000. If he is able to post bond, he cannot return to the scene of the alleged crime, nor can he initiate any contact with the alleged victims, and he cannot possess any weapons, and he must contact his probation officer within 72 hours of his release. As to the probation violation matter, I did appoint an attorney to represent him in that matter. He does have a probation revocation possible disposition hearing on November 24th at 8:30. Due to the nature of the violation of probation, the court finds that he's not eligible for bond today, as the court believes that it is reasonably likely that he's going to face a period of incarceration. In the event that Mr. Johnson is able to, if he's found to be bondable in the probation violation matter, he will be advised that if he fails to comply with his release conditions or he fails to appear for his court date, any bond that he did post would be lost, a warrant would issue for his arrest, and additional bond could be imposed. I will meet with Mr. Johnston. If any changes are needed, I will do so either in writing or on the record. This concludes the 2 p.m. initial appearance calendar. We stand in recess until 5 p.m.
She should be on her way.
Okay. All right.
Be seated. Okay, this is the 5 p.m. initial appearance calendar. I'm going to call you in individually. You'll state your name and date of birth. I will tell you what you've been booked on and whether an attorney has been appointed to represent you. I'm also going to give you the date of your next court appearance. I will let you know whether you're eligible for a bond or not. If it's a secured bond, that means you can go through a bonding company. Phone numbers for the various bonding companies are located in the jail area. You can call any one of them. They will accept collect calls. If it's a cash bond, then you have to pay the entire amount of the bond. I'm also going to tell you if I've set any release conditions, like no contact with the alleged victim or no going back to the alleged scene of the crime. You need to follow each and every condition if you want to remain released. Let me remind you, if you've been ordered by a court not to have contact with the victim and then you do so, you may be charged with an additional felony. Now, when you come into the courtroom, please be aware, this is all being video recorded. So do not talk about the facts of your case, as you have the right to remain silent. As you leave the courtroom, the court staff's going to give you your paperwork. That's going to show you what the charges are, whether you've been appointed an attorney, where, when, what time your next court date is going to be, whether you're eligible for a bond or not, and then it'll have a list of all your release conditions. Purpose of this hearing is to determine whether you're eligible for a bond or not. That decision is based on your past criminal history, any failures to appear, Arizona law, and your current charges. It's not based on personal information, so don't go into that. Finally, for the record, the orders for fingerprinting and the taking of DNA samples that were made on the 0200-hour calendar for November the 1st, 2025 shall apply to all matters on this calendar. Now, yeah?
We have a Spanish interpreter on the line.
I can't hear you.
We have a Spanish interpreter.
Oh, okay. And do we have our interpreter on the line?
Yes, ma'am. Esta es la lista de casos de las 5 de la tarde para hoy, martes 18 de noviembre. Les pediré que pasen a la sala uno a la vez. Cuando pasen, pediré que me den su nombre completo y fecha de nacimiento. El propósito de esta audiencia es de determinar si califican para fianza, para nombrarles un abogado y para darles la fecha de su siguiente comparecencia. Se determinará si califican para fianza. Si es una fianza respaldada, esto quiere decir que pueden recurrir a una compañía de fianzas para prestar esa fianza. Los números de teléfono para esas compañías están disponibles en la cárcel. Pueden llamar colecta. Si la fianza en su caso se fija de fianza en efectivo, tendrán que prestar la cantidad completa. Habrá medidas cautelares si califican para ello. Entre las condiciones de su puesta en libertad provisional, las condiciones pueden incluir una prohibición de contacto con la víctima, una prohibición de volver al lugar de los hechos. Si para permanecer en libertad provisional deben de cumplir con estas medidas cautelares. Si no las cumplen, se les puede imputar un delito adicional. Todas estas comparecencias son grabadas por video, así que se les pide que no hablen acerca de los hechos en su caso. Tienen derecho de no hablar. En la hoja que se les dé al final de la audiencia, se les dirá por escrito cuáles son las acusaciones, se les dirá si califican para abogado, se les dirá cuándo y dónde será su siguiente comparecencia. Si se fija una fianza en su caso, se les dirá cuáles son las medidas cautelares que deben de cumplir para permanecer en libertad provisional. Esta audiencia tiene como propósito determinar si califican o no para una fianza, aparte de informarle de las acusaciones. Calificar para una fianza depende en su historial penal, depende en lo que la ley de Arizona dicta y depende de las acusaciones actuales. La orden emitida a las 2 de la mañana el día 1 de noviembre de este año aplicará para la toma de huellas digitales y ADN, aplicará a esta lista de casos también.
I am now going to read the victim's rights advisement if there is any victim listening online.
Ahora voy a leer el aviso de derechos para víctimas si es que hay víctimas escuchando en línea.
If you are a victim of a crime with a case pending before this court,
si están presentes en calidad de víctima por un caso que se ventila ante esta sala hoy,
you are advised that you have the rights under Arizona law
se les avisa que de acuerdo a la ley de Arizona tienen los derechos
that, among others, include the right to be treated with fairness, respect, and dignity.
Entre otras cosas, incluyen el derecho de ser tratados con justicia, respeto y dignidad.
To a speedy trial.
A un juicio oral oportuno.
To be present at all court proceedings.
De estar presente durante todas las diligencias en el caso.
To choose whether or not to be interviewed by the defendant or the defendant's attorney.
El derecho de escoger si son entrevistados o no por el acusado o el abogado del acusado.
To be heard before the court makes a decision on release.
De ser escuchados antes que el juez decida si el preso califica o no para libertad provisional.
Negotiation of a plea.
De ser escuchados con respecto a la negociación de un convenio resolutorio.
Scheduling and sentencing.
La programación de las diligencias y antes de la imposición de pena.
And to receive restitution from a person who is convicted of causing your loss.
Y tienen derecho de recibir reparación por daños de aquella persona que sea juzgada culpable de haberles perjudicado.
If you have not already been provided with the written statements of all your victims' rights, please contact the Victim Services Division of the Prosecutor's Office.
Si no han recibido una copia escrita de este aviso de derechos de víctima, por favor comuníquense con el intercesor en la Fiscalía.
Francisco Camacho, come in the courtroom behind the podium.
Francisco Camacho, pase a la sala y tome su lugar detrás del podio.
An interpreter, I can't remember, did you announce for the record?
Martin Hernandez, court interpreter. I did not, ma'am. Thank you.
My fault for not asking. All right, sir, state your name and date of birth.
Francisco Alberto Camacho Hurtado, diciembre 10 del 87.
Francisco Alberto Camacho Hurtado, February 12, 1987.
Sir, you have a Superior Court grand jury warrant, which means the grand jurors met, they heard testimony, they found probable cause on one count of transportation or sale of dangerous drugs. That's a Class 2 felony. I've appointed a lawyer to represent you. Your next hearing is going to be an arraignment on November 25th at 8:30. The grand jury judge sets your bond at $25,000 cash. You also have a list of conditions that you must follow if you post that bond. Get your paperwork from the court staff. Interpreter, would you mind asking if there is anyone else that needs your services?
No, ma'am, I can ask. Buenas tardes. ¿Hay alguien más en la sala que necesite intérprete de español? Levante la mano, por favor.
We may have a taker.
Copy that, ma'am.
Hold on.
No, we're good. Thank you.
We're good. All right. You have a good evening, and thank you for staying a little late for us.
You bet. Thank you, ma'am. Good night.
All right. Can I have Angel Kaya come in the courtroom? Victoria Hart to the chair outside the courtroom. Okay, state your name and date of birth.
Angel John Coyle, 4/17/94.
4/17 of 1994?
Yeah.
Okay, sir, you have two matters. The first one is a failure to appear warrant. On one count of theft of means of transportation, Class 3 felony, one count of criminal trespass in the first degree, Class 1 misdemeanor. You already were appointed an attorney to represent you. Your next hearing is going to be a status conference, November 25th at 8:30. When you didn't go to court, the judge set your bond now at $25,000. Now you also have a Superior Court new case alleging one kind of attempted theft of means of transportation, Class 3 felony, one kind of burglary in the third degree, Class 4 felony, one kind of resisting arrest, Class 6 felony, one kind of criminal trespass in the first degree of a residential yard, Class 1 misdemeanor. I've appointed a lawyer to represent you. Your next hearing is going to be a status conference, November 24th at 8:30. I'm also setting an evidentiary hearing, November 25th at 1:30. So Arizona has a criminal rule of procedure. It's 4.2A7A. This is what it says. If you're out on release on felony charges and you allegedly commit new felony charges, you can't bond out. You're held without bond. But it also says you get an opportunity to challenge that with your attorney. That's going to happen at that evidentiary hearing, November 25th at 1:30. Okay? Get your paperwork from the court staff. Victoria Hart, come on in.
Good evening, Your Honor. Good evening, Your Honor.
Okay, and then Jean Juvenile to the chair outside the courtroom. All right, state your name and date of birth.
My name has been changed in the government systems many times, so I don't know what name pulls up for you, but in the system that I was jailed in, it's Victoria M. Hart.
Okay. And your date of birth.
Same thing with date of birth change because I'm a government agent. It's 5/27/1991 according to my original birth certificate.
Okay, that's the information I have. So you have an out-of-county warrant. This is from Graham County Superior Court for 1 count of dangerous drugs possession, a Class 5 felony. This is what you're on probation for.
I've been acquitted and exonerated from that. I'm supposed to be in witness protection for this because Graham County is currently experiencing a cloned system of the government agencies. They are a corrupt system, and they keep habeas corpusing me. I am a Trump family member, and he is aware of this, and they keep taking me.
Okay, well, I can tell you that I have paperwork from Graham County alleging that you are on probation on a Class 5 felony, that the court is asking me there to hold you no bond, which is what I'm going to do. This is dated November 12th of 2025 from the judicial officer up there.
I need Supreme Court for this.
Well, you can straighten it out up there. They will have to come get you.
It's a concentration camp there. It's not a normal prison.
Well, you will be going to court. So this is pursuant to Arizona Criminal Rule of Procedure 7.2C, and you will have to be appointed an attorney up there. I can't appoint you an attorney here, but I do have a valid warrant, and you will have to talk to your attorney up there when they transfer you.
Is it a valid warrant according to the system you're using or according to the actual presidential federal system?
This is a state court warrant. Okay, this is not a federal warrant. That's what I can tell you. I just have a valid warrant signed by the judge up there from Graham County.
Michael Peterson and Palmer are both registered terrorists and are on America's Most Wanted. And you need to search that or at least put that in the record and have that known. I escalate this.
Well, you can talk. I urge you to talk to your attorney.
I need to let you know I'm in higher government than planet Earth. I'm a Star City Council member. Thank you. I'm done.
Okay. And what warrant? What are they saying? I have a warrant from who? Oh, that one?
Oh, no, I'm sorry. From the e-portal, from Detective Rossman, Chad Rossman, for the e-warrant, that you asked him to resubmit.
This is not mine. I've never read this.
I don't know, Karina told me that you...
Who did?
Karina?
No, I told Jane I did the one that I had that came back, but not this one. I thought Jane said she was going to look at it.
I don't know.
I have not read this warrant. Not me. So I have the other one in queue, which I did before coming on the bench.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. I don't know.
That was the message I was given to give to you.
No, those facts don't ring a bell at all. See if it was somebody else. Okay, Jean, come on in. Francisco Robles Clark to the chair outside the courtroom. Okay, state your name and date of birth.
Right. My name is Dukumena Jamari. Address is January 1, 1995.
Okay, this is a justice court warrant for 1 count of extreme DUI with a blood alcohol content of 0.15 to 0.20. That's class 1 misdemeanor. Your next hearing is going to be an arraignment, November 21st at 8:30. They had set a bond of $2,360. I reduced it to $100. Okay?
Okay.
All right, good luck to you.
Here you go, sir.
Why do I have...
Thank you.
Hang on just a second, okay?
Same time for sir. We'll call you, man. You have to speak right now.
All right. Let's have Francisco Robles Clark come on in. Mark Olivas to the chair outside the courtroom. All right, state your name and date of birth.
Francisco Robles, Clark, then 12/1993.
All right, you have two matters. The first one is a Superior Court new case alleging one count of possession of dangerous drugs, one count of burglary in the third degree, both Class 4 felonies, one count of possession of drug paraphernalia, Class 6 felony, one count of theft, Class 1 misdemeanor, one count of criminal trespass in the second degree, Class 2 misdemeanor. I've appointed a lawyer to represent you. Your next hearing will be a status conference, November 24th at 8:30, and I've set a $25,000 bond. On the second matter that you have, this is a probation violation. You're on probation for a Class 4 felony. Probation is alleging you violated probation by getting the new charge, a term 1. I've appointed a lawyer to represent you. Your next hearing will be an arraignment, possible disposition, November 24th at 8:30, and pursuant to Arizona Criminal Rule of Procedure 7.2C, you'll be held non-bailable on that. Get your paperwork from the court staff. Mark Olivas, come on in. And Eugene Arthur to the chair outside the courtroom. State your name and date of birth.
Mark Anthony Olivas, March 4th, 1968.
You have a Superior Court probation violation warrant for your probation that you're on for Class 4 felony. Probation is alleging you violated terms 6, 7, and 13. I've appointed a lawyer to represent you. Your next hearing will be an arraignment, possible disposition, November 24th at 8:30. Pursuant to Arizona Criminal Rule of Procedure 7.2C, you'll be held non-bailable. Get your paperwork from the court staff. Eugene Arthur, come on in. DeAndre Chris to the chair outside the courtroom. State your name and date of birth.
Eugene John Arthur, 10/21/85.
You've got a probation violation warrant for your probation that you're on for a Class 5 felony. Probation is alleging you violated term 3, 5, and 15. I've appointed a lawyer to represent you. Your next hearing will be an arraignment, possible disposition, November 24th at 8:30, pursuant to Arizona Criminal Rule of Procedure 7.2C, you'll be held non-bailable. Get your paperwork from the court staff. DeAndre Chris, come on in. Ilana Jackson to the chair outside the courtroom. State your name and date of birth.
DeAndre Chris,
July 17, 1978.
You have a Superior Court probation violation for your probation that you're on for a Class 5 felony. Probation is alleging you violated Term 6. I've appointed a lawyer to represent you. Your next hearing will be an arraignment, possible disposition, November 24th at 8:30. Pursuant to Arizona Criminal Rule of Procedure 7.2C, you'll be held non-available. Get your paperwork from the court staff.
Okay, but I've been on probation, ma'am. This was back in 2014.
You're still on probation.
That probation got transferred to LA and I completed it in 2017. That's why I was so surprised when they called me, because I'm not on probation anymore, man. This case was from 2013, and I've been taking care of this. I've never had any missed court dates. Even when I bailed out, I still came out here with all my court dates. They switched my probation over to Los Angeles. I completed it out there. I'm really blind to this. And then when they gave me
probation violation,
when they gave me my jacket, they had me on here as I don't have my glasses, but they had me on here.
It says that you've absconded. You failed to report within 72 hours after sentencing. You last reported June 3rd of 2014. So this is still a valid probation. And the judge who signed it asked that you be held without bond.
I'm telling you, I completed it, man. Like, everything was done in Los Angeles. And then it's even wrong on here because it says that I had a gun, armed and dangerous, violent. There was nothing like that on this case at all.
Well, I can tell you that I've appointed a lawyer to represent you, and you were picked up. You had a warrant on this, picked up in La Paz County, but you have an attorney. You should talk to the attorney.
Who's my attorney?
You can probably call the public defender's office and see who's been appointed.
But even this stuff right here that they gave me, like, it says arm and there was no gun or anything involved in this case.
Well, I don't know about the underlying parts of this case. All I know is that
I have no warrants at all. I've been taking care of this. This was 11 years ago, man.
Yeah, the warrant's been out there for a long time. I see that.
I had no idea of no warrant. I didn't been pulled over. I own a trucking company, so I didn't been pulled over at weigh stations and everything all across the country, even in Arizona before. This was the first time it ever popped up.
I don't think I'd be admitting that you're being pulled over, so. I don't think I'd be admitting that you're being pulled over.
No, I'm talking, I go to weigh stations because I have a trucking company, so, they check all my stuff. It's not like.
Well, right now, this warrant has been in the system for a long time.
I was not aware of that, ma'am. I really wasn't.
All right, get your paperwork.
So there's no bail?
No bail.
Oh, wow.
Ilana Jackson. Daniel Seibel to the chair outside the courtroom. Hang on. Can you get me a bond eligibility hearing on this? I just saw that she's got a warrant out or out on release.
It should reflect now.
Pardon?
It should reflect.
Okay, thank you. All right, state your name and date of birth.
Ilana Jackson, 42898.
All right, you have a Superior Court new case alleging one count of abducting a child, Class 4 felony, one count of interfering with judicial proceedings, disobeying an order of the court, Class 1 misdemeanor. I've appointed a lawyer to represent you. Your next hearing will be a status conference November 24th at 8:30. I'm also setting an evidentiary hearing on November 25th at 1:30. So you are out on release on another felony. And when you're out on release on a felony and you allegedly commit another felony, which is what you have now, you are non-bondable. You cannot bond out. But you do have an opportunity to challenge that with your attorney. And that is going to happen at that evidentiary hearing that I've set for November 25th at 1:30. You can argue with your attorney to allow you to have a bond. Okay?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, get your paperwork from the court
I have a
staff.
question.
Yeah.
Pretrial will not be allowed for the new case, right?
I'm sorry, but with the mask on, I can't understand what you're saying.
Pretrial won't be allowed with this new charge or whatever, right?
Pretrial won't be allowed to do what?
Like pretrial services won't be allowed?
No. No, because this is mandated under Arizona law.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Get your paperwork. Daniel Seibel, come on in. Derek Craig to the chair outside the courtroom. State your name and date of birth.
Daniel Anthony Seibel, 01-1688.
Okay, you have two matters. The first one is a justice court warrant from Santan Justice Court for one count of criminal trespass in the first degree of a residential yard. You're not entitled to a court-appointed lawyer. Your next hearing is going to be an arraignment November 21st at 8:30. They had asked for a bond of $614. I reduced it to $50. The next one that you have is a probation violation warrant for your probation that you're on for a Class 4 felony. Probation is alleging you have violated terms 3, 4, 5, 7, and 15. I've appointed a lawyer to represent you. Your next hearing will be an arraignment, possible disposition, November 24th at 8:30. I set a $2,000 bond. If you post these two bonds, you must contact your probation officer within 72 hours. Get your paperwork from the court staff.
So I have a bond of $2,000 for each?
No, $2,000 on one, $50 on the other.
So $250.
$2,050.
Okay.
Derek Craig, come on in. Oscar Salazar to the chair outside the courtroom. State your name and date of birth.
My name is Derek Craig, June 4th, 1972.
You have a failure to appear warrant for one count of possession of dangerous drugs, Class 4 felony, one count of possession of drug paraphernalia, Class 6 felony. You already have a court-appointed lawyer. Your next hearing will be a status conference, November 25th at 8:30. And the court set your bond at $1,000 cash. Get your paperwork from the court staff. Oscar Salazar, come on in. Dawn Martinez to the chair outside the courtroom. State your name and date of birth.
So I have it now, ma'am. Oscar Salazar, 92584.
Okay, you have two matters. They're both family court warrants, which means they're not criminal, they're civil. So the first one is for child support, and the amount that you need to pay is $949 cash. You're going to have another hearing on this case on November 20th at 10 a.m. On the second one...
No, that's the other one. The $400 one?
The other one
this
is
Friday.
$400 cash.
It's this Friday. I have a court, but I already paid. If you can check up the history, I paid, because I just started my 2 jobs, part-time and full-time, and the lawyer or the judge gave me to pay before my next court date, which is this coming
When
Friday.
did you pay it?
Friday. It was last Friday or Thursday. My ex-wife went and paid it cash. She sent me the picture that she paid it. I called the court, and it was paid. Like I said, I just started my jobs, full-time and part-time, just to keep track of my payments, man. And the other one, they started garnishing me just recently.
Can we even get into this?
I don't believe so. It's family court.
Yeah, I just need to get back to work, you know.
Well, the other one is valid. When did you say you paid the other one?
It was Thursday. She went and paid it at the family court, and I called just to make sure that it was paid, and she did pay it. If I'm not mistaken, it was Thursday or Friday, but I gave her the money on Wednesday.
Because the judge signed this $400 one on November 13th.
Yeah, 13, and then after that, she said as long as you pay it before our next court day update, which is this coming Friday, she's like, I'll go ahead and I won't get you a warrant. So I don't even know why it's there when, you know, I pay $200 and then the rest it has to be paid by Friday, but I get paid Thursday. And if I'm not working right now, I just have to be there to get my check and pay it Thursday. And then, of course, on the other one as well, pay the other one. I'll have them paid both this week.
Are both here in Maricopa?
Yes, they're in Maricopa on the road.
Are you going to be able to pay the other one?
Yes, I'll pay, ma'am. If you let me on, like I said, I'll pay Thursday when I get my check. I'll come and pay them cash, both of them.
Well, you can't get out unless you pay it.
Well, I mean, I can't pay it now because I don't have the money until
$949.
Yeah, until Thursday when I get my check. And of course, I have to pay the other one before I see the judge on Friday, which is my next court date, this coming Friday, and I have to have it paid by then. I don't have the money right now. I just started working full time and part time, just to keep track of my payments.
Can we check this if you paid the $400?
I don't believe I have access to that.
Instead, man, I just want to get to work. That way they don't fire me again and lose my jobs. So I just started. If you give me court for Friday, I'll bring a receipt that I was paid. I'll bring them to the registry so I can pay on Thursday. As soon as I get my check, I'll cash it and just come.
Well, I can't
Right.
That I can't do.
Right.
I mean, I have to impose these. You're saying that you've already paid that $400.
Right, because it was after the warrant was issued.
The warrant was issued on. Do you owe another $400?
No. It was 400 and I paid 200. That's what I'm saying. I paid 200. And then she said, as long as you pay the other 200 before our next court day, which is this coming Wednesday, which I was planning on doing once I get my check on Thursday, so cash it and pay the other 200. That way she sees by Friday that it's being paid the 400.
But she signed this on the 13th, on Thursday.
Maybe, yes, like I said, maybe it was a miss.
And did you pay it on Friday?
Yes, it was cash on Friday.
Well, that's why. I mean, the warrant, she hasn't quashed the warrant.
I'm gonna check public access. I don't know if you want to read.
Okay, we're gonna call you back. We're gonna see if we can find anything else. Don Martinez, come on in. Matthew Hernandez to the chair outside the courtroom. State your name and date of birth.
Don Martinez, October 31st, 1977.
What's your name and date of birth?
Don Martinez, October 31st, 1977.
I'm sorry, I can't hear you. Is your name Dawn Jean Martinez?
Yes.
Date of birth 10/31 of 77?
Yes.
All right, you've got a Superior Court probation violation warrant for your probation that you're on for a Class 6 felony. Probation is alleging you violated Term 1, getting new charges, 3, and 5. I've appointed a lawyer to represent you. Your next hearing will be an arraignment, possible disposition, November 24th at 8:30. I've set a $900 bond. If you post that, you must contact your probation officer within 72 hours. Okay? Get your paperwork from the court staff. Matthew Hernandez, come on in. Alexander Jaquez to the chair outside the courtroom. Sir, state your name and date of birth.
Matthew Ove Hernandez, 12793.
You have a Pinal County Superior Court warrant for one count of threats or intimidation. That could be a felony or a misdemeanor. And then when you didn't go to court, you got a failure to appear, Class 6 felony. I don't know if you had an attorney appointed for you, but they'll have to do that if you're eligible in Pinal County. Your next hearing will be an arraignment, November 21st at 8:30. And the judge set your bond at $734.
Okay, I for that setting, I believe that I had quashed that warrant going in, and they said that they would be giving me a time and date for my court appearance for my fines, and they've never established a date or time with me for the date and time for that. But I went through the quash warrant and everything like that.
Well, it shows it's a valid warrant. So you have $734. You can go through a bonding company. I did not make it cash.
Okay.
Okay.
So I can go through a bonding company?
Yep.
All right. Thank you. I appreciate that so much.
All right. Alexander, come on in. Anthony Takach to the chair outside the courtroom.
Have you paid any money? Nothing whatsoever. Didn't find anything.
Okay. All right. Sir, state your name and date of birth.
Alexander Jaquez, 10/28/96.
All right. You have two matters. The first one is a Pioneer Justice Court out-of-county warrant for one count of false report to law enforcement. That's a misdemeanor. You're not entitled to a court-appointed lawyer due to the nature of the charge. Your next hearing is going to be an arraignment, November 21st at 8:30. The judge set your bond at $256. The second one is a Justice Court warrant out of Santan Justice Court. This one is for one count of shoplifting. That's a misdemeanor. This allegedly occurred September 12th of 2024. You're not entitled to a court-appointed lawyer due to the nature of the charge. Your next hearing will be an arraignment, November 21st at 8:30, and the judge there set your bond at $680. Get your paperwork from the court staff. Over there. Anthony Takach, come on in. Aaron Carroll to the chair outside the courtroom. Sir, state your name and date of birth.
Anthony Nicholas Takach, 9/26/81.
You have a Superior Court probation violation warrant for your probation that you're on for a Class 6 felony. Probation is alleging you violated term 2 and 3 and 5. I've appointed a lawyer to represent you. Your next hearing will be an arraignment, possible disposition, November 24th at 8:30. And I've set your bond at $250. If you post that, you must contact your probation officer within 72 hours. Get your paperwork from the court staff. Aaron Carroll, come on in. Tiffany Lee to the chair outside the courtroom. State your name and date of birth.
My name is Aaron Carroll, 8889.
You've got a probation violation warrant for your probation that you're on for a Class 6 felony. Probation is alleging you violated term 3, 4, 5, and 15. I've appointed a lawyer to represent you. Your next hearing will be an arraignment, possible disposition, November 24th at 8:30, set at $250 bond. If you post that bond, you must contact your probation officer within 72 hours.
Okay, thank you.
Get your paperwork from the court staff. Tiffany Lee, come on in. Kevin Collier to the chair outside the courtroom. State your name and date of birth.
Tiffany Lee, 7/6/1980.
You have a justice court warrant for one kind of driving while licensed, suspended, canceled, or revoked.
Yes,
That's a
ma'am.
misdemeanor.
Yes,
Not entitled to a court-appointed lawyer. Next hearing is going to be an arraignment, November 21st at 8:30.
Okay. The Youngtown one, I was living in Flagstaff and I had been contacting them through email and I was also doing court over the phone. I recently moved here with my daughter, didn't realize I had a court date. I did contact them and they told me I could come to open court on Monday, but unfortunately my wife got pulled over before Monday. So I have been in contact with them, and the other county one, which is for a fine. I'm now on disability, so now I'm set to be able to pay my fine, $50 a month. So I'm able to take care of both of those now.
Let me just tell you.
Okay.
They want a bond of $629.
Right.
You've had a long time to pay this.
Yes,
But,
I've been on.
but.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm going to reduce it to $50.
Okay.
Let me do the second one.
Okay.
Second one, municipal court warrant out of Youngtown for one kind of driving while licensed, suspended, canceled, or revoked.
Yes.
That's a misdemeanor.
Yes.
Not entitled to a court-appointed lawyer. Next hearing is going to be an arraignment, November 24th at 9 a.m.
Okay.
They had asked for a bond of $700.
Yes.
I'm reducing it to $50.
Okay.
Both of those $50 will go towards your fine.
Okay, I understand that, and that would be fine for me to pay. I'm on disability, so I think I might have 50 on my disability card now, but I won't get another disability check until the 3rd. What I was trying to tell them or set up with them is I live off of $988 a month. I've been homeless for a long time, but now I'm not. I'm living in Phoenix and I live with my daughter now. I just became unhomeless. So I was trying to see if we can set up where they had me doing both payments, but would set one aside and let me pay off one at $50 a month because I'm living off of $988 a month.
Your daughter pay the other $50?
I don't know if she can because she just had a baby and she works for McDonald's, but she is letting me stay there. So I do have a stable address where I can get back and forth to court. I might have 50 on my disability card now, but I'll be able to start up the payments on the 3rd and continuously pay them on the 3rd of each month. Guaranteed.
Okay, this is what I'm doing.
Okay.
I'm changing the paperwork.
Okay.
Each of these are going to have $25.
Okay.
All right, they'll bring you your paperwork, okay?
Oh, okay. So I paid 50 total to get,
And you'll get out.
okay, and they will let me check my disability card and everything? Okay, great, thank you.
They'll bring you your paperwork.
Okay.
Kevin, come on in. Oscar Salazar to the chair outside the courtroom. State your name and date of birth, sir.
Kevin Collier, 073195.
You have a justice court new case alleging one count of criminal damage, class 1 misdemeanor. You're not entitled to a court-appointed lawyer. Your next hearing is going to be an arraignment, December 4th, 9:30. I'm going to release you on your own promise to go to court. No returning to the alleged scene of the crime. Got it?
Yes, Your Honor.
Get your paperwork.
Can I say anything, or is that it?
Do you want to?
I just wanted to apologize because I stay in a program called SOS, and there's a lot of recovering addicts there. So it's 2 a.m. they're awake, it's 5 a.m. they're awake. I was in a car wreck about a month and a half ago, so I'm just trying to rebuild my life from scratch. And
You don't have much of a history, which is why I kind of...
so I'm saying I've been sleeping like 1 or 2 hours the last month, and I kind of just lost my temper because I don't have anyone to talk to.
Yeah.
You know, so I'm sorry. I apologize.
No, don't apologize to me, but, I mean, you might to the alleged victim, but you're going to be released. Good luck to you.
Thank you.
Okay? Oscar Salazar.
Hello again, Your Honor.
So the court staff checked, and there was nothing on this other $400.
I have a receipt on my phone. I did make the payment. And then on the other one, they're garnishing because the other one was set on July 31st, right? And when I started working in August, they garnished me $352. So the balance should be down. I understand at the time that was the amount of $940. But then last month they also garnished me for an amount of $495. So I don't know why you guys are not showing these payments. Those were garnished for my company. The $200 was paid cash at the family court.
Well, let me just tell you, when these warrants were signed by the court.
I know the case in 2014 or 2014. That was a sign on July 31st.
July 30th.
Yeah.
But even if you're making payments, you still owe on the next month.
Oh, no, I get it. Yes, I understand. But I wasn't working at the time because my father had passed early August. And that's why I wasn't working, because I was staying with my mom.
I absolutely cannot change these.
I mean, I'm willing to pay it Friday. I'm willing to come and pay it Friday cash.
Yeah, but I can't do that. I mean, this is a warrant from a judge. So you're going to see the judge in 2 days.
Thursday or Friday?
Today?
Tuesday.
What's the 20th?
Thursday.
Is today? Is today Tuesday?
It's 18th, so Thursday.
Yep, Thursday. You're going to see the judges on both of these on Thursday.
He can release me if he causes.
He or she.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Yep.
Okay. We gotta ask the judge.
Oh, okay.
Before you come in. Judge, she wants to come back up here and talk to you. So
Yeah, okay. They
Just
said,
call.
okay.
Station name, date, working.
All right, Tiffany Lee, 7/6/1980. They said that they can't just run my card. Someone would have to come and release my property. There's no one to come and release my property because my wife's in California. It's only me. And so.
You just said you had your daughter here.
Yeah, my daughter, but she just had a baby and she works at McDonald's. There's no way she can come up here. Like, I couldn't even ask that of her. And I have it on I believe it's on my card. Even if I can get OR to make the first payment, I can do that. Like, I've been trying to take care of this. I literally can start making my payments. I got my disability. I get my disability now. I go to court, like, I reach through them through email, through everything. I don't try to avoid them or anything. I'm honestly trying to take care of this.
When did you move in with your daughter?
I just moved in with my daughter not even 2 weeks ago.
How come you were in La Paz County?
We were in La Paz because my wife had to go to California because we were staying in California. We were going up to, I don't remember the county, but to get her food stamp card and come back. My wife is still there. I came back. They brought me back because I have this. And so I stay with my daughter, but I've been going to this court through email, everything. If I can just get OR'd, I am honestly trying to take care of this situation. Like, I will make every payment. And they set me up for $50 a week. And starting the 3rd, I can make every payment of $50 a week. And go to court on my next Youngtown one. Youngtown, I was supposed to go into, Monday, go into open court, and they were gonna squash it. Because I did call them once I realized I missed it. I called them. I just need to get in there. If I can just get OR, I will be able to take care of all of this.
Okay,
Okay.
let me tell you what I'm gonna do.
Yes, ma'am.
First of all, I'm gonna teach you something.
Yes, ma'am.
When a warrant is not squashed,
Okay.
it's quashed.
Okay.
So now you know a new legal term,
Okay.
quashed.
Quash.
So what I'm going to do is, I'm gonna OR you on both of these.
Okay.
That gives you a little time.
Okay.
Don't make me regret this.
Okay. I will not.
I guarantee you.
I promise. I will not.
I will go out here, I'll see you.
Ma'am.
And instead of reducing this like I did, very low.
Right.
I'll give you the whole amount.
I promise, ma'am.
I'm trusting you.
I'm in a
thing.
position now to take care of it. Before, I was homeless. I lived off of $900. It took care of me and my wife off of $988 a month.
Well, here's
Barely
what you can
eating.
do. Here's a little tidbit. First of all,
Okay.
don't miss a payment.
Okay.
Even if you can't pay the whole amount,
Okay.
most courts won't issue a warrant.
Okay.
Or you can go in and say, we're short this month.
Okay.
Can I do community service?
Okay. Okay.
And a lot of the jurisdictions, the courts, will let you do that.
Okay.
Go to a food bank. It's the holidays. You can pack up food for people.
Yes, ma'am.
All right?
Yes.
What gets you in trouble is when you just when you blow it off.
Okay.
But if you're responsible and you go tell the judges that, listen, we're short.
Mm-hmm.
What can I do? Can I go volunteer somewhere?
Okay.
Then you get a certain amount of money taken off.
Okay.
Make sense?
Yeah, but I never knew I had that option.
Yep.
Or I
The
would have asked
thing,
them.
Worst thing people do is they just go, oh, I hope it goes away, and it doesn't go away.
Oh, yeah, no. Travesty doesn't go away.
All right. So I'm going to OR you on both.
Okay.
But make a payment and go to the court.
Okay.
Set up a payment plan. They may let you do something like $25.
Okay.
Or they might say, why don't you do some community service somewhere?
Okay.
All right?
I will see if that's an option for me, because the community service is a good option for me, because I'm not living off of much, and it's hard to take care of myself.
Yep.
Yeah, so.
All right. Go do that.
Thank you.
All right. So I got Jeremy Nish. He's disruptive, so now he's a house call. And his date of birth is 10/27 of 85. He's got a Superior Court new case alleging one kind of criminal damage, class 5 felony, one kind of aggravated assault, class 6 felony. I've appointed a lawyer to represent him. His next hearing will be a status conference, November 24th at 8:30. It's at a cash bond of $25,000. Then Aubrey Brown. She has a house call because she's been disruptive and fighting. She has a failure to appear bench warrant for charges of possession of dangerous drugs, class 4 felony, one kind of possession of drug paraphernalia, class 6 felony. She already has a court-appointed lawyer. Her next hearing will be a status conference, November 24th at 8:30. And we're going to have a $1,000 secured bond on that. Lastly is Alan McEnroy. His date of birth is 11/20 of 79. He is, what does NASWA stand for?
Non-acute suicide watch.
Okay. Out-of-county warrant from Pinal County Superior Court for one kind of possession of drug paraphernalia, class 6 felony. He already has a court-appointed lawyer. His next hearing will be an arraignment, 11/21 of 25 at 8:30, and I've set a $1,000 secured appearance bond. Why did this go? Probably because I haven't been here for 3 weeks. negotiation of a plea, scheduling and sentencing, and to receive restitution from a person who is convicted of causing your loss. If you have not already been provided with a written statement of all victims' rights, please contact the Victim Services Division of the Prosecutor's Office. All right, let's start with Fazel Yazin. Come into the courtroom behind the podium. And then Oscar Montez to the chair right outside the courtroom. Okay, sir, state your name and date of birth.
Faisal Mohamed Yassin, July 19, 1996.
Okay, you are here on a Superior Court probation violation warrant for your probation that you're on for a Class 3 felony. Probation is alleging you violated Term 1, 11, and 21. I've appointed a lawyer to represent you. Your next hearing will be an arraignment, possible disposition, November 24th at 8:30. Pursuant to Arizona Criminal Rule of Procedure 7.2C, you'll be held no bail. Can't bond out. Get your paperwork from the court staff. Oscar Montez, come on in. Christopher Floyd to the chair outside the courtroom. Sir, state your name and date of birth.
Good morning, Your Honor. Oscar Montes, 7/13/1999.
You have a probation violation warrant for your probation that you're on for a Class 4 felony. Probation is alleging you violated your probation by getting a new charge, Term 1. I've appointed a lawyer to represent you. Your next hearing will be an arraignment, possible disposition, on November 24th at 8:30. And pursuant to Arizona Criminal Rule of Procedure 7.2C, you'll be held non-bailable till your next hearing. Get your paperwork from the court staff. All right, Christopher Floyd, come on in. Ricky Mason to the chair outside the courtroom. Sir, state your name and date of birth.
Christopher Floyd, 11/30/1985.
You've got a Superior Court probation violation warrant for your probation that you're on for a Class 4 felony. Probation is alleging you violated Term 3, 4, 5, 7, and 15. I've appointed a lawyer to represent you. Your next hearing will be an arraignment, possible disposition, November 24th at 8:30. Pursuant to Arizona Criminal Rule of Procedure 7.2C, you'll be held non-bailable. Get your paperwork from the court staff. Ricky Mason, come on in. Sir, state your name and date of birth.
Ricky Mason, 8/20/62.
Okay, you've got a Superior Court probation violation warrant for a Class 3 felony. Probation is alleging you violated Term 3, 9, 10, and 25. I've appointed a lawyer to represent you. Your next hearing will be an arraignment, possible disposition, November 24th at 8:30. Pursuant to Arizona Criminal Rule of Procedure 7.2C, you'll be held non-bailable. Get your paperwork from the court staff.
What?
Marcos Lopez, come on in. And Xavier Zamora Reyes to the chair outside the courtroom. Sir, state your name and date of birth.
Marcos Lopez, 6/11/1991.
All right, sir, you're here on 4 matters, and they're all probation violation warrants. You're on probation for 1 Class 4 felony, 1 Class 3 felony, and 2 Class 6 felonies. Probation is alleging you violated Term 3, 4, 5, and 15 on each of these. I've appointed a lawyer on all 4 to represent you. Your next hearing will be an arraignment, possible disposition, November 24th at 8:30. And pursuant to Arizona Criminal Rule of Procedure 7.2C, you'll be held non-bailable on each of these. Get your paperwork from the court staff. Xavier Reyes, come on in. And then Cecil Smallwood to the chair outside the courtroom. Sir, state your name and date of birth.
Javier Zamora Reyes, 4/25/1990.
You're here on a probation violation warrant for your probation that you're on for a Class 3 felony. Probation is alleging you violated terms 1 and 15. I've appointed a lawyer to represent you. Your next hearing will be an arraignment, possible disposition, November 24th at 8:30. Pursuant to Arizona Criminal Rule of Procedure 7.2C, you'll be held non-bailable. Get your paperwork from the court staff. Cecil Smallwood, come on in. And Shandin Sekuwamtiwa to the chair outside the courtroom. Sir, state your name and date of birth.
Cecil Smallwood, 12/2/71.
You have a Superior Court new case alleging one kind of aggravated assault, impeding breathing, Class 4 felony, one kind of disorderly conduct, Class 1 misdemeanor. Based on your financial affidavit, I could not find that you're indigent.
Yes, ma'am.
So you can do one of 2 things. You can hire your own attorney,
Yes, ma'am.
or you can give more information to the next judge to see if you might qualify.
Oh, yeah, I figured I wouldn't.
Okay, your next hearing is going to be a status conference, November 24th at 8:30. I've set a $20,000 secured appearance bond. It's not cash. You cannot return to the alleged scene of the crime.
Okay.
Absolutely no contact with the alleged victim. No email, no texting, no having somebody else call.
How do I get my stuff?
No social media.
It's my house.
Let me write something in here.
There's no way that she can pay for it. She doesn't even have a job.
I'm going to give you more new paperwork. So this is what you do. If you bond out, you call the law enforcement agency in your neighborhood or in your area.
Okay.
They will have to meet you there. It's called a civil standby. They will allow you to obtain your personal belongings,
Okay.
and then that's one time, and then you must leave,
Okay.
okay? All right, they'll bring you your paperwork,
Okay. Thank
all
you.
right? Shandon, come on in. Beth Roseborough to the chair outside the courtroom. State your name and date of birth.
Shandine Sikayamtua, 5/26/1984.
So you have a grand jury warrant, which means the grand jurors met, they heard testimony, they found probable cause on 3 counts of aggravated domestic violence, all Class 5 felonies. These allegedly occurred July 1st of 2025. I've appointed a lawyer to represent you. Your next hearing will be an arraignment, November 25th at 8:30. And I've set a $5,000 bond. If you post that bond, you cannot return to the alleged scene of the crime, no contact with the alleged victim.
What's the
Understood?
victim's name? What's the victim's name?
I do not have that information because this is a grand jury warrant. So you will need to contact your attorney.
Okay, thank you.
All right. Beth, come on in. Sistine Mack to the chair outside the courtroom. State your name and date of birth.
Beth Roseborough, 42990.
Okay, you have a Superior Court arrest warrant alleging 2 counts of possession of dangerous drugs, 1 count of possession of narcotic drug, class 4 felonies. These allegedly occurred April 14th of 2025. I've appointed a lawyer to represent you. Your next hearing will be a status conference, November 24th at 8:30. I set a $1,000 bond, which means if you get a bond, you get credit on this one as well as the other stuff you're serving. Both at the same time.
Okay.
So you want a bond. It's the one time you want a bond. If I OR'd you, you'd still be serving time, right? You wouldn't get credit on these new charges.
Okay.
If I set a bond, you get a credit on what you're serving and this.
Oh. Okay. Okay, thank you.
All right?
Yeah.
Okay, get your paperwork. Sistine Mack, come on in. Christopher Womble to the chair outside the courtroom. State your name and date of birth.
Sistine Mack, 06/21/1995.
You have a Superior Court new case alleging 1 count of burglary in the 3rd degree, class 4 felony. I've appointed a lawyer to represent you. Your next hearing will be a status conference November 24th at 8:30. And I've set a $900 bond. Okay? Get your paperwork from the court staff. Christopher, come on in. Donnie Lindsay to the chair outside the courtroom. State your name and date of birth.
Christopher Womble, 5782.
You have a probation violation warrant for your probation that you're on for a class 4 felony. Probation is alleging you violated term 3, 7, 12, and 15. I've appointed a lawyer to represent you. Your next hearing will be an arraignment, possible disposition, November 24th at 8:30. I've set a $900 bond. If you post that, you must contact your probation officer within 72 hours.
All right.
Get your paperwork from the court staff. Donnie, Lindsay, come on in. Parnell Jefferson to the chair outside the courtroom. Sir, state your name and date of birth.
Donnie Lindsay, 7/23/91.
All right, you have 4 matters. The first one is a Superior Court new case alleging 1 count of criminal trespass in the 1st degree of a residential structure, class 6 felony. I've appointed a lawyer to represent you. Your next hearing will be a status conference, November 24th at 8:30. Set a $900 bond on that. Now, the next 3 are all probation violations. You're on probation for 2 class 6 felonies and 1 class 4 felony. Probation is now alleging you violated your probation by getting the new charge. That's called a term 1. I've appointed a lawyer on all 3 of these to represent you. Your next hearing will be an arraignment, possible disposition, November 24th at 8:30. Set a $500 bond on each. If you post these 4 bonds, you must contact your probation officer within 72 hours. Got it?
Got it.
Get your paperwork from the court staff. Parnell, come on in. Juan Medina to the chair outside the courtroom. Sir, state your name and date of birth.
Parnell Jefferson, 5979.
59 of 79?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, you have 3 matters. The first one is a Superior Court new case alleging 1 count of criminal trespass in the 1st degree of a residential structure, class 6 felony. I've appointed a lawyer to represent you. Your next hearing will be a status conference, November 24th at 8:30. Set a $500 bond. Now, probation is alleging you violated your probation on 2 cases, 2 class 4 probation violations by getting the new charge. Those are called term 1s. I've appointed a lawyer on both of those to represent you. Your next hearing will be an arraignment, possible disposition, November 24th at 8:30. Set a $500 bond on each of those. If you post those 3 bonds, you must contact your probation officer within 72 hours. Got it?
Yes, ma'am.
Get your paperwork from the court staff. Juan Medina, come on in. Frank Morales to the chair outside the courtroom. State your name and date of birth.
Juan Medina, January 27, 1994.
You've got a probation violation warrant for your probation that you're on for a Class 4 felony. Probation is alleging you violated term 3, 4, and 13. I've appointed a lawyer to represent you. Your next hearing will be an arraignment, possible disposition, November 24th at 8:30. Set a $500 bond on that. If you post it, you must contact your probation officer within 72 hours.
I was in rehab, and I left, and I talked to her, and I had an interview coming up tomorrow, and I don't know, they just came for me. I was supposed to be in another rehab tomorrow.
So let me tell you what the allegations are, and they just have to prove one. That you failed to report within 72 hours of sentencing, which was in July. That you failed to report as directed on July 29th, September 2nd, attempts to locate you, they couldn't find you. That you refused to actively participate in substance abuse counseling, and that you were directed to begin treatment with Crossroads September 2nd, 2025, and complete by October 1st. That you refused to actively participate and cooperate with substance abuse treatment at Crossroads. You failed to self-surrender for the Maricopa County Jail on October 16th. They just have to prove one of those.
I was in rehab, and she knew about that.
But it wouldn't matter if you're ordered to do that.
But I bonded out. Those other ones are old. I came to jail.
Sir, even if they're old, if you're still on probation, they can bring them up and file a petition to revoke your probation. Sometimes probation officers hold them to see how well you're doing, but they just have to prove one of those.
Even if I'm going and seeing her and everything?
Well, you're going to have to talk with your attorney, but as I said, out of all of those allegations, they just need to prove one.
Yeah.
Get your paperwork from the court staff. Frank, come on in. Kamir Johnson to the chair outside the courtroom. Sir, state your name and date of birth.
Frank Morales, 5/24/89.
So you've got a probation violation warrant for your probation that you're on for a Class 4 felony. Yep. Probation is alleging you violated term 3 and 5. I've appointed a lawyer to represent you. Your next hearing will be an arraignment, possible disposition, November 24th at 8:30. And I've set a $500 bond. If you post that, you must contact your probation officer within 72 hours.
Thank you, ma'am.
Get your paperwork. Kamir Johnson, come on in. Jim Jace to the chair outside the courtroom. State your name and date of birth.
Kamiri Johnson, 05/02/2004.
You have a probation violation warrant for your probation that you're on for a Class 4 felony. Probation is alleging you violated term 3, 5, and 11. I've appointed a lawyer to represent you. Your next hearing will be an arraignment, possible disposition, November 24th at 8:30. I set a $500 bond. If you post it, that's not cash. If you post the bond, you must contact your probation officer within 72 hours. Get your paperwork from the court staff. Jim, come on in. DeAndre Hills to the chair outside the courtroom. State your name and date of birth.
Kim Jace, 1/14/1969.
You've got a probation violation warrant for your probation that you're on for a Class 6 felony. Probation is alleging you violated term 3 and 5. I've appointed a lawyer to represent you. Your next hearing will be an arraignment, possible disposition, November 24th at 8:30. I've set a $900 bond. If you post that, you must contact your probation officer within 72 hours. Get your paperwork from the court staff. DeAndre Hills, come on in. Jennifer Medina, to the chair outside the courtroom. Sir, state your name and date of birth.
DeAndre Hills, August 1st, 1984.
Okay, you have two matters. They're both probation violations. You're on probation for a Class 6 felony and a Class 5 felony. Probation is alleging you violated term 3, 7, and 13. I've appointed a lawyer on both of these to represent you. Your next hearing will be an arraignment, possible disposition, November 24th at 8:30. On the Class 6 felony, I set your bond at $150. On the Class 5, I set it at $300. If you post these two bonds, you must contact your probation officer within 72 hours. Get your paperwork from the court staff. Jennifer Medina, come on in. Justo de la Cruz, to the chair outside the courtroom.
Good evening, Your Honor.
State your name and date of birth.
My name is Jennifer Nicole Medina, 3/12/1993 is my date of birth, Your Honor.
Okay, you've got a probation violation warrant for your probation that you're on for a Class 4 felony. Probation is alleging you violated terms 1, that's getting a new offense, 3, and 6. I've appointed a lawyer to represent you. Your next hearing will be an arraignment, possible disposition, November 24th at 8:30. Set a $250 bond, which is not cash.
Okay.
If you post that bond, you must contact your probation officer within 72 hours.
And if I post bond, do I get to go back to prison and run it concurrent with my prison time that I'm bonding out on? Like you said to the other woman, Roxbury?
Yeah, as long as you post a bond, as long as you have a bond and you post it, you still get credit.
Okay, perfect.
Yep, okay.
Thank you.
Get your paperwork. Justo de la Cruz, come on in. Xavier Jimenez. State your name and date of birth.
Justo de la Cruz, November 13th, 1987.
You've got a Superior Court probation violation warrant for your probation that you're on for Class 6 felony. Probation is alleging you violated term 3 and 5. I've appointed a lawyer to represent you. Your next hearing will be an arraignment, possible disposition, November 24th at 8:30. It's at a $250 bond. If you post that, you must contact your probation officer within 72 hours. Get your paperwork from the court staff. Xavier, come on in. And John Tompkins, to the chair outside the courtroom.
Good evening, ma'am.
Good evening. State your name and date of birth.
Xavier Esquipula Jimenez, born November 5th, 1995.
You have a probation violation warrant for your probation that you're on for a Class 6 felony. Probation is alleging you violated term 3 and 5. I've appointed a lawyer to represent you. Your next hearing will be an arraignment, possible disposition, November 24th at 8:30. Set a $250 bond. If you post that, you must contact your probation officer within 72 hours. Okay, get your paperwork. And then John Tompkins, come on in. Hang on just 1 second, okay? Well, I can quickly do this. State your name and date of birth.
John Tompkins, 11/10/94.
All right, you've got a probation violation warrant for your probation that you're on for a Class 6 felony. Probation is alleging you violated term 4, 5, and 15. I don't know why I hit that. Can you print this one out again?
Yeah.
I hit cash, and I don't do that on probation. Four, 5, and 15. Okay. You're here on a probation violation. For your probation that you're on for a Class 6 felony, probation is alleging you violated term 4, 5, and 15. I've appointed a lawyer to represent you. Your next hearing will be an arraignment, possible disposition, November 24th at 8:30. It's at a $350 bond. If you post that, you must contact your probation officer within 72 hours. Okay, they're going to bring you your paperwork, okay? You want to call the county attorney?
I believe they're on.
Oh, is he or she on?
Yes, actually.
Hello, this is Officer Walters.
Hi, Officer Walters. Cindy and Eddie at the Search Warrant Center. Are you ready to be sworn?
Yes, I am.
Okay, do you swear or affirm that the information contained in the affidavit and warrant are true and accurate to the best of your personal knowledge, information, or belief?
I do.
Okay, I've granted it. Good luck.
Thank you. Have a good night.
You too. Bye-bye. And then we have one house call. It says vulnerable adult. Why can't a vulnerable adult come in the courtroom? Unless you have other info on it.
He's blind.
Pardon?
He's blind.
He's blind? So a blind person can't come into the courtroom?
Do you want me to get him?
Yeah, I don't think that's gonna hold up. All right, let's get Mr. Stephen Hunter. And then do we have the county attorney on the line?
Yes, Your Honor, the state is here.
Okay. I'll have you guys announce. All right. Sir, state your name and date of birth.
Stephen Hunter, 11/27/74.
And counsel.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. Adam Weiner on behalf of Mr. Hunter, who's here standing to my right in custody.
And I see that this is a limited notice of appearance. Is that correct?
Yes, that is correct.
Okay. And then counsel for this date.
Good evening, Your Honor. Ashley Stetson on behalf of the state.
Okay. Just before we get started, I did receive or review your attorney or your client's financial information, which he indicates he's employed full-time, but then his payment is 1 cent.
Your Honor, I haven't reviewed any financial statement that's been presented, but he does have employment right now.
He's not employed?
He is employed.
Okay.
He owns several businesses.
Well, at this point, I wouldn't know how much he makes to see if he would be eligible for a court-appointed lawyer. What I could do is not appoint anyone at this point, and then at this next hearing, if you two don't work something out, then he'd have to fill out this pretrial affidavit to see if he qualifies for a court-appointed lawyer.
Yeah.
Is that okay?
Yes, that sounds
All right.
good.
All right. Sir, you're here on a Superior Court new case alleging 1 count of intentional animal cruelty or mistreatment, Class 5 felony, and 3 counts of inflicting physical injury on an animal. Those are all Class 1 misdemeanors. They have various dates of offense listed: September 4th, September 3rd, September 15th, September 21st, all of this year. And at this point, I am not going to appoint you an attorney because you have an attorney here. And like I said, if the two of you work out some agreement, then that's fine, and your attorney will be with you at the next court hearing. If you don't, you still need to come to the court hearing, and you will have to fill out the paperwork if you want to request a court-appointed lawyer. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay. Counsel for the state, did you have a recommendation?
Yes, Your Honor. At this time, the state is requesting bond be set in the amount of $25,000 with standard conditions, including no contact, no control, or no ownership of any animals whatsoever, Your Honor. The state does acknowledge that the suspect was here back in October on additional charges, which he is out on. The bond was set in the amount of $75,000 secured, the state believes. I believe Your Honor may have been the judicial officer that heard that IA case, Your Honor. However, the state, with these new charges, the state believes that the additional bond is appropriate, Your Honor. There's allegations that the suspect choked a dog, Your Honor. There's also video of this. At the time of the original IA, the state was not aware of the videos that are mentioned in the Form 4, Your Honor. Because of that, the state does believe that additional bond is appropriate, and the state would also acknowledge that the suspect does have criminal history outside of Arizona. It does appear that he has possibly Arkansas history and New Mexico history. All those warrants that he had right now are non-extraditable. Additionally, Your Honor, there is some sort of disorderly conduct that may have been a part of the original charge. Your Honor, the state just believes that based on the new allegations, that the $25,000 secured bond is appropriate. Thank you.
Okay, counsel.
Thank you, Judge. Just looking at Form 4 at the moment, Your Honor, I mean, there's nothing listed here. There's no factual basis for probable cause for any of these 4 counts. If there's allegations of you choking a dog, I mean, that's a huge allegation. You know, what day did that occur? You know, what evidence? I mean, there's no probable cause statement of these allegations. Did
you get the addendum? Let me interrupt you, because I agree when I first read the summary, but there is a very long probable cause statement that's about, because I would have agreed with you when I first saw that.
Yeah, no, I've not received it.
I don't think you've seen that.
Okay.
So, here's what we're going to do.
Okay.
Because I believe that you should have it. Can you print that out? And what we will do is I will give you time. You can talk with your client in there. I'm going to see somebody else.
Okay.
Counsel for the state. Can you either hang on or call back in like 10, 15 minutes?
Yes, Your Honor. And Your Honor, the state did review the addendum and gave the court approval, but reviewed the Form 4 for it to be sent to counsel prior to the hearing. So I'm hoping there's just an error.
I think so too. I reviewed it all. There was nothing that I felt like needed to be redacted, but it is lengthy. I'm going to give you an opportunity to read it. and you tell us when you're ready.
All right, thank you, Judge.
Okay.
I appreciate it.
All right. And then can we have, and then, County Attorney, does staff have your phone number so that we can call you back?
Wait here if you're still going to see other people, Your Honor.
This could be a while though, so I don't want you to have to hold on.
Okay, that's fine. Yes, this court staff should have my contact information.
Okay, great.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Looks like a 246.
Mm-mm.
There you go.
You can get a blanket.
Is he coming in? There he is. Sorry, I have my chair very low today. All right. Eric, can you hear me?
Yeah.
All right. Can you tell me your name and date of birth?
Oh, freezing. It's cold. It's hell. I'll just say name and date of birth.
All right, let me ask you this. Is your name Eric Sheridan?
Yes, ma'am.
And then is your date of birth November 11th of 1975?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Mr. Sheridan, you've got a Superior Court new case of 1 count of resisting arrest. That's a Class 6 felony.
I didn't even do it.
All right. Well, I don't want you to say anything right now because this is being tape recorded. I'm going to just go ahead. We're going to print this out again because I'm going to appoint you a lawyer, okay?
What?
To help you on this, all right? So you've got 1 charge, which is a Class 6 felony. That's the lowest kind of felony. I'm going to appoint you a lawyer to represent you, okay? Your next court hearing is going to be a status conference on November 24th at 8:30.
No.
Well, that's when it's going to be, okay? And I'm setting a bond of $3,600.
What? I can't just get OR'd.
No, you cannot be OR'd. Let me tell you one of the reasons. You have 15 times that you didn't go to court, and you have 4 other felonies, so you're going to have a bond at this point. All right? So we're going to get you your paperwork, and then you're going to have a lawyer that will assist you on these charges, okay?
God damn it, man.
I'm gonna put you.
So what do I gotta do?
Take this back right now.
What do I gotta do?
Well, if you can't bond out, you're going to stay in the jail, and then you're going to meet with your attorney.
That's horse shit.
We're still on.
Oh, you can turn it off until we go back on. Okay, County Attorney, you back on?
I'm here, Your Honor.
Okay. Okay. So you have had an opportunity to read the addendum to the probable cause statement?
Yes, we have,
Okay.
Judge. Thank you for giving us extra time.
Go ahead.
Thank you, Judge. We got a lengthy addendum that we just reviewed today. There's a lot of allegations that stem from the October 1st incident that has nothing to do with any of the new allegations that you previously read off to us. And so any of those allegations, I would say, are certainly not relevant to whether there's probable cause for these new counts. There's a lot of jumbled information, I would say, in here, and really this is dealing with a lot of, this is neighbor conflict and some drama there. But page 4, specifically, I want to point out to you that it talks about how there was 4 calls for service regarding the dogs yelping or crying in the past of suspected dog abuse, but nothing was substantiated. And so it seems a lot of neighbors may be hearing howling, which is very normal for puppies, but that's not evidence of any dog abuse. And I just really wanted to point that out. It's just from what's alleged and being seen in these videos, I don't know how credible it is, especially when it talks about the last video, how the officer either potentially observed him punching or kicking a dog. I don't know how it could be both of those. That just doesn't really make much sense here. Another thing I just wanted to point out to you is that there's no evidence that these dogs were any serious physical injuries. I believe they were taken to a hospital, and here it says, all that they observed was a previous injury that these dogs had from 3 years ago when he adopted the dogs, and then when it happened to get hit by a car. But if they were being hit or punched, where's the evidence that there's any injuries to these dogs? I mean, they were taken into a hospital. If there was wounds, cuts, blood, where is the evidence of that? There's absolutely no evidence that these dogs were harmed at all when they were taken from his house. Just to move on, so there is pending criminal charges against him right now. That is from an alleged date of October 1st. From that
These are prior.
Yeah, these are all prior. So since the current charge, he's been on his best behavior, no issues, and he hasn't gone into any criminal trouble. So these are all allegations that stem prior to the current case. Just to note, there's a $75,000 secured bond that he's already posted. Especially from the probable cause statement, it looks like, this is going to be a case appropriate that, it should be combined together here. He's already posted a $75,000 secured bond. That's a lot of money. He had to take collateral out on his home to do so. There's really no reason to issue another bond when, potentially $75,000 even seems excessive. Regarding, this case, I know there's a lot of allegations, again, just allegations with no evidence that these dogs were harmed at all. And if anything, we believe that they were in good health when they were taken from his home. Just to also address some of the previous allegations, the state talks about having prior criminal history. Your Honor, he doesn't have anything on his record for about over 20 years now. The last prior incident was from 2005, and so I really don't think, the court should take much consideration to any prior criminal history when he's been law-abiding for the last 20 so years. He has no history of fleeing. He's hired counsel with the full intentions of, resolving these cases. We think there are serious holes or question marks, about the allegations when it's more just, client or neighbors complaining about noise. Again, that is very standard when it comes to puppies. And, one of the incidents was simply him giving the dog a bath. And even in here, it talks about how the neighbor heard, what page was it? Let's see, page 2, they were talking about how the dog was pinned down, but then it was later, the call was cleared, and the call notes say that Stephen was just more than likely giving the dog a bath. And so, there's, again, serious issues, confusion about what's going on here. Hearing dogs yelp isn't evidence of dog abuse, and if they're young dogs, if they're trying to attack him, he's trying to train them, howling is, a very normal thing. And so, we would really just ask that the $75,000 secured bond, is very appropriate to cover both the prior case and this case. There's really no reason to issue another secured bond when he's already posted a high one. He owns 2 trucking businesses and a credit repair business. It's very important, that he be able to run those businesses. He's the only one that does run them. If he, in custody, he won't be able to run his businesses. He's going to lose his companies. His employees won't be able to get paid. It's going to create a very severe financial hardship. Again, there's no reason why he shouldn't be able to return to his home. He doesn't own any other animals. There's certainly no issues keeping any release conditions, to stay away from any animals. Again, just focusing, he's been law-abiding since, allegedly October 1st. There's been nothing new. These are all prior allegations from that.
Okay, counsel, I'm just confused on your client filling out a financial where he states employed full-time, but pay amount .01. Does he have a business? And the reason I ask is, that does show at least some stability or tie to the community, but yet he puts he's employed, but makes a penny.
This was this recent. I didn't fill that out recently.
Well, did they ask you questions?
Yeah, I refused that because I answered it last time. I told them I had businesses.
Okay, well, counsel, is your client employed?
I own 3 businesses.
I can't hear you.
I own 3 businesses, Your Honor.
Okay. And how many people do you employ?
3.
And how long have you had these businesses?
Since 2018, November.
Counsel for the state, do you have anything?
Yes, Your Honor, and I appreciate you allowing the state to respond. And the state had some confusion over counsel's argument. The state wasn't sure if he was arguing towards bail or towards probable cause, but very quickly the state would like to address a few things. The counsel noted that the injuries to the dogs happened 3 years ago. They stated that he got the dog 3 years ago. Your Honor, the state would draw your attention to page 5. There is on page 5, there is mention that he did get the 2 older dogs 3.5 years ago when they were puppies. So the state would believe that if any injuries that the dogs received would have been while they were in the suspect's custody, Your Honor. Additionally, if you look to page 7, where it discusses the report from Palm Glen Animal Hospital, I believe is the name of it, and if you look to the assessment section, it does, no, not the where is it? It says something, oh yes, assessment section. It says swelling and the apparent pain to left face are consistent with blunt impact trauma. There was no bruising noted on the initial exam, but surface bruising is seldom noted with blunt force and canine. So that goes against counsel's statements about there's no bruises, injuries, and that sort when the hospital notes that there was blunt force trauma of some sort, Your Honor. There's allegations that the suspect hit the dog with a baseball bat. Given that, Your Honor, and counsel, the state does agree that there are other allegations that happen after these allegations. However, Your Honor, at the time of that original initial appearance hearing, the state nor the court nor defense had access to the records or the data in the suspect's phone. Since then, the state has received that information from law enforcement, and there is additional information, Your Honor, that alleges videos of the suspect alleging to have strangled and choked a dog, Your Honor. These are obvious, very concerning allegations to the state, and therefore the state is asking for an increase of $25,000 with the noted conditions. Thank you.
May I respond, Your Honor?
Yes.
Just a couple of things. Again, just regarding page 8, just talks about, how whatever this injury to the right radius was, again, from a previous injury that the dog was treated for. Again, we're telling you, this court, that it happened 3 years ago when you got the dog from.
That happened in Las Vegas, and it should be reported because she got picked up by the Humane Society and was hit by a car.
Okay, so that,
She was
yes.
8 months
Okay.
at that time.
And so there's that. But just again, so this previously the court already took into consideration this allegation of him hitting a dog. That happened on October 1st. Again, none of the allegations here. I have my co-counsel that recently filed a motion to modify release conditions based off new evidence that specifically shows video that our client did not hit the dogs with any bat. And that was part of the basis for her motion to modify release conditions. And so there's no evidence that our client, has ever hit a dog with a bat. And again, that was already considered by a previous court in issuing a $75,000 secured bond, which is very high. And again, I would argue very, excessively high previously. And so it again just doesn't make any sense to issue an additional bond when $75,000 is plenty enough to handle both these matters.
Okay, well, let me tell the both of you that I did not read anything about the other case. I based my decision based on the Form 4 in this case. And I believe the dates of offenses of the 3 misdemeanors, and there's only 1 felony, correspond to the items that were found in the phone, the videos, which when I read this, I looked at particularly the dates and what was alleged and whether it was more misdemeanor conduct versus the 1 felony. So that is what I looked at. I'm not considering the other charges. So at this point, I do believe a $25,000 bond is appropriate in this case. I'm also going to put you on an electronic monitor. I was going to put a house arrest, but since you do say you have a business, I'm going to allow a curfew, and the times will be determined by pretrial services. You are not to own, care, or control, or have in your custody any animals. Understood? Okay. Anything else from either counsel?
Nothing further from the state, Your Honor.
What's the bond?
Let me give you the next court date on this case.
Okay, so that's the $25,000 secured bond?
It's not cash, it's secure.
Okay.
The status conference will be on November 24th at 8:30.
November 24th at 8:30? Okay.
Okay. Anything else?
I think that's all,
That's
Your
all
Honor.
for the
Thank
state.
you.
Thank you.
Okay. All right. We're in recess.
Can't we do that?
Thank you. You may be seated. Good evening. This is the time set for the 11 p.m. initial appearance calendar on November 18th, 2025. The court's orders for the taking of DNA and fingerprints that were given on the first calendar of this month shall apply to all matters on this calendar. I'll call you each one at a time to the podium. I'll provide a second name to sit in the chair outside of this room. I will let you know what you are here for, if I have appointed an attorney, if you have a bond, and what your release conditions are. I'm also going to read the victim's rights advisement. If you are the victim of a crime with a case pending before this court, you are advised that you have rights under Arizona law that, among others, include the right to be treated with fairness, respect and dignity, to a speedy trial, to be present at court proceedings, to choose whether or not to be interviewed by the defendant or the defendant's attorney, to be heard before the court makes a decision on release, negotiation of a plea, scheduling and sentencing, and to receive restitution from a person who has been convicted of causing you loss. If you have not already done so, if you have not already received a written statement of the victim's rights, please contact the Victim Services Division of the Prosecutor's Office. If we could start with Ryan Ogburn to the podium, please, and Miguel Ramirez to the chair. May I get your name and date of birth?
Ryan Ogburn, 7/30/92.
Thank you, sir. It does look like you are here on 3 cases. We have a new case as well as 2 probation cases. Your new charges are for 1 count of possession of a weapon by a prohibited person, a Class 4 felony, 7 counts of burglary, a Class 4 felony, 8 counts of theft of credit cards, a Class 5 felony, 1 count of fraudulent use of a credit card, a Class 5 felony, 3 counts of fraudulent use of a credit card, a Class 6 felony, and 1 count of criminal damage, a Class 6 felony. And because you're here on new charges while on probation, it is a Term 1 violation in each of your probation cases. So I am finding probable cause and appointing an attorney to represent you in all 3 cases. You're going to have some hearings coming up. You're going to have a status conference along with a probation revocation hearing November 24th at 8:30, an evidentiary hearing November 25th at 1:30, and a preliminary hearing November 26th at 8:30. On your new charges, at the time of this offense, you were out on felony release for a different pending case that you have, and because of that, you're not eligible for bond today, so you will be held non-bondable on all 3 cases. The time set to determine if bond will be set on your new charges is November 25th at 1:30, and then you'll have your probation case hearing on November 24th at 8:30. All of this will be in your paperwork. Did you have any questions?
No.
Okay, if you'll step to your left, the officer will get you that paperwork. Thank you, sir. Miguel Ramirez to the podium. Anthony Bisco to the chair. get your name and date of birth?
Miguel Ángel Ramirez, 10/11/99.
Thank you, sir. You are here today on a grand jury warrant that was issued. It does have an offense date of March 19th, 2024. It is for 1 count of manslaughter, a Class 2 felony, and 1 count of endangerment, a Class 6 felony. I'm appointing an attorney to represent you and setting an arraignment hearing November 25th at 8:30 in the morning. You do have a cash bond in the amount of $250,000. In the event you were to post that bond and release from custody, you would have written conditions of release. You may not return to the scene of the alleged crime, no contact with any alleged victim, complainant, witness, and you may not possess any weapons. All of that will be in your paperwork, sir. Did you have any questions?
No, ma'am.
Thank you. If you'll step to your left, the officer will get you that paperwork.
Thank you.
Anthony to the podium and Eric to the chair, please. May I get your name and date of birth?
Anthony Bisco, 4590.
Thank you, sir. You are here today on a grand jury warrant. It does have a date range for the offense of October 4th, 2025 to October 24th, 2025. It is for 1 count of theft, control of property, a Class 2 felony, 1 count of conspiracy, a Class 2 felony, 1 count of trafficking stolen property, a Class 3 felony, 1 count of conducting an illegal enterprise, a Class 3 felony, and 4 counts of organized retail theft, a Class 4 felony. I am appointing an attorney to represent you and setting an arraignment hearing November 25th at 8:30 in the morning. In this case, you have a secured appearance bond in the amount of $75,000. In the event you were to post that bond and be released from custody, you would have written conditions of release. You may not return to the scene of any alleged crime, no contact with any alleged victim, complainant, or witness. All of this will be in your paperwork, sir. Did you have any questions? If you'll take a step to your left, the officer will get you that paperwork. Eric to the podium. Christopher to the chair. May I get your name and date of birth?
Eric Mata, 12783.
Thank you, sir. You are here today on a new case. It is for 1 count of burglary, a Class 4 felony, 1 count of theft, a Class 1 misdemeanor, and 1 count of criminal trespass, a Class 2 misdemeanor. Probable cause has been found, and I am appointing an attorney to represent you. You're going to have a status conference November 24th at 8:30, a preliminary hearing November 26th at 8:30. You have a secured appearance bond in the amount of $5,000. In the event you were to post that bond and be released from custody, you would have written conditions of release. You may not return to the scene of the alleged crime, no contact with any alleged victim, complainant, or witness. You may not possess weapons or alcohol, and you must contact your probation officer within 72 hours of release. All of that will be on your paperwork. Did you have any questions?
No.
If you'll step to your left, the officer will get you that paperwork. Christopher to the podium and James to the chair. May I get your name and date of birth?
Chris Schlesinger, 52885.
Thank you, sir. It does look like you are here on 3 failure to appear bench warrants that were issued for you. I am going to affirm the attorney previously appointed to represent you and set a hearing on November 24th at 8:30, along with a hearing on November 26th at 8:30. You do have a secured appearance bond of $1,000 in each case for a total bond of $3,000. In the event you were to post bond and be released from custody, you'd have written conditions of release. They do include not possessing weapons or alcohol and contacting your probation officer within 72 hours of release. You'd also need to ensure that you attend all of your future hearings. If you fail to appear again, another warrant would issue and you'd forfeit your bond. Did you have any questions?
Nope.
Just step to your left, the officer will get you that paperwork. James to the podium and Robert Williams to the chair. May I get your name and date of birth?
Yeah, James Prim, 62764.
Thank you, sir. You are here today on a probation violation warrant with allegations you violated Term 15. I'm going to appoint an attorney to represent you and set a probation revocation hearing November 24th at 8:30. You have a secured appearance bond in the amount of $1,000. In the event you post that bond and are released from custody, you do have written conditions of release. It will include not possessing weapons or alcohol and contacting your probation officer within 72 hours of release. All of that will be in your paperwork. Did you have any questions?
No, ma'am.
Thank you, sir. The officer will get you that paperwork.
Thank you. You have a blessed day.
You too. Robert Williams to the podium, and Robert Gonzalez to the chair. Can I get your name and date of birth?
Robert Junior Williams, 42674.
Thank you, sir. You are here today on 2 probation violation warrants with allegations that you violated terms 3 and 5 of your probation. I'm going to appoint an attorney to represent you and set a probation revocation hearing November 24th at 8:30. In one case, you have a bond of $1,000. In the other case, it's $500. It's a total bond of $1,500. In the event you were to post that bond and be released from custody, you'd have written conditions. Some of those things do include not possessing weapons or alcohol and contacting your probation officer within 72 hours of release. Did you have any questions, sir?
Well, I don't have the money to post that bond.
If you can't post bond, then you will remain in custody and they'll transport you to that hearing on November 24th. Anything further, sir?
Nope.
If you'll step to your left, the officer will get you that paperwork. Robert Gonzalez to the podium and Frank Simpson to the chair. May I get your name and date of birth?
Robert Gonzalez, 2/14/1993.
Thank you, sir. You are here today on a new case. It is for 1 count of criminal damage and 1 count of disorderly conduct, both Class 1 misdemeanors. Probable cause has been found, and I am appointing an attorney to represent you. You're going to have an arraignment hearing November 20th at 9 a.m. That's going to take place in the Peoria Municipal Court. I have reviewed the allegations in this case along with the victim statement, and based on those things, I am setting a secured appearance bond in the amount of $1,000. In the event you post that bond and are released from custody, you do have written conditions of release. It does include not returning to the scene of the alleged crime, no contact with the alleged victim, complainant, or witness. You must obey the terms of the order of protection that's currently in place. And I also want to caution you that because this is a no victim contact, if you violate this order, you could be facing additional felony charges. All of this will be in your paperwork. Did you have any questions?
Yeah, the Peoria police didn't mention that there was a fighting allegation on there. I was just told that it was just disorderly conduct, and there was no fighting involved. I just went there. We're married. I went to go see if I can hug my kids. Nobody opened the door. I just rang the doorbell, and that was it. So I don't know why the fighting's on there. And they never even talked to me about fights. There was no fight at all. There was I'm married with her still, so she didn't open the door to the house, so.
So you're being booked for disorderly conduct, and what that statute involves, engaging in fighting, violent, or seriously disruptive behavior. So it's the seriously disruptive behavior based on the allegations that you appeared at the house and were attempting to get in when there was an active order of protection. I understand you may not agree with that charge, but that's what it currently is set at. I have appointed an attorney to represent you, so do discuss that with your attorney, okay?
One more thing, though. You said there was an active order of protection, which the following Sunday, my wife had called me because my daughter was at the hospital. She told me to go, so I'm confused on the active order because I was never served.
Okay, let me double check. I thought this was the case that had an active order of protection. Let me look.
I just got served today.
With the order of protection?
Yes.
Okay, so it's a brand new one then? That must be why they didn't charge you with disobeying an order of the court. It was just for going over to the house and attempting to get in and causing a disruption. But now that there's an active order of protection, you need to follow all of the conditions in there. Anything further?
So I'm staying, I'm getting booked, or?
You have a bond of $1,000. If you post the bond, you will be released from custody, and then it would be your responsibility to get yourself to that hearing. If you don't post the bond, then yes, you would remain in custody, and they'd transport you to that hearing. They're going to take you to processing here in a minute, and they'll give you the instructions on how to get that posted.
So on the 20th hearing, there's a possibility I can get out, or?
You can definitely talk to your attorney, and you will see a judge at that time, and if they believe it's appropriate to modify these release conditions, they can do so.
It's a misdemeanor, right? So.
It is a misdemeanor, 2 misdemeanor charges, yes, sir. Okay, just up to your left, the officer will get you that paperwork. Frank Simpson to the podium, Emmanuel Hall to the chair. Can I get your name and date of birth?
Frank Simpson, 1979.
Thank you, sir. You are here today on a probation violation warrant with allegations that you violated terms 3, 5, and 15 of your probation. I'm appointing an attorney to represent you and setting a probation revocation hearing November 24th at 8:30. You have a secured appearance bond in the amount of $500. In the event you were to post that bond, you have written conditions of release. They do include not possessing weapons or alcohol and contacting your probation officer within 72 hours of release. All of that will be in your paperwork. Did you have any questions, sir?
I was just basically here to collect some coins.
I'm sorry, sir?
I was just basically here to collect some coins.
So you're here because there was a petition to revoke your probation, and as a result, a warrant issued for your arrest for not complying or the allegations that you haven't been complying with your probation. So now you're going to have a hearing related to your probation revocation on November 24th. Okay, if you'll step to your left, the officer will get you that paperwork. Emmanuel Hall to the podium, Alexander to the chair. Can I get your name and date of birth?
Emmanuel, 11/25/1994.
Thank you, sir. It does look like you are here on a failure to appear bench warrant related to a pending drug charge. It's my understanding you've been in custody since November 14th, and as a result, you missed that hearing because you were in custody. Is that correct? And you're being held non-bondable on your other charges?
What other charges?
The hearing from November 14th looks like you were brought for new charges that day, and you were being held non-bondable.
Yeah.
Okay. So what I'm going to do, since you're currently in custody and you're not bondable on that case, I'm going to affirm the attorney on this case. This is for the pending dangerous drug charge. I'm going to set a status conference November 24th at 8:30, a preliminary hearing November 26th at 8:30. I'm going to place what's called a placeholder bond of $50 in this case. If you're given bond at your evidentiary hearing on your other case, then you can post bond on this case in the amount of $50 and be released from custody. But if you post it now while you're still being held non-bondable, you will not be released from custody and they will not take you to your hearing. So you need to wait until you find out what's going to happen on your other case.
So like, if I post this bond, I will be released, you're saying?
What I'm saying is you're currently here being held non-bondable on an assault charge that took place in November 13th.
Okay.
And you don't have a hearing on that case to determine if bond is going to be set until November 21st.
Okay.
So because of that, even if you were to post the $50 bond today, you wouldn't be released because you're being held on that second case.
Okay.
You need to find out what happens on that assault case on November 21st. If bond is set on that case and you post both bonds, then you would be released. But just posting the $50 on this case will not get you released at this time.
May I ask like what the other bond is?
You don't have a bond on the other case. You were held non-bondable. You're going to find out if the court's going to give you a bond at your evidentiary hearing on November 21st.
Okay.
Okay? If you'll step to your left, the officer will get you that paperwork. Alexander to the podium. Tanya to the chair. May I get your name and date of birth?
Alexander Jaquez, 10/28/96.
Thank you, sir. You're here today on a warrant from the Apache Junction Municipal Court. I do see that you were previously seen earlier today at the 5 p.m. calendar, and it looks like you were given a couple of bonds. Have you posted those bonds?
No, I was sentenced to 45 days for Gilbert, and I have a few other misdemeanor warrants that I seem to be taken care of.
Okay, so even though you had bonds on the cases at the 8 p.m. calendar or the 5 p.m. calendar, you're currently serving time on a different case? Okay. Okay, so what I'm going to do in this case, I'm going to appoint an attorney. What it is you failed to pay some fines related to a DUI from 2019 in Apache Junction, and as a result, they issued this warrant November 21st, 2024. You're going to have an arraignment hearing in Apache Junction on November 21st at 8:30. I'm going to put a placeholder bond of $50. So again, if you're serving time, posting this bond wouldn't get you released. But once you're done serving time, if you're still in custody on this case, and you post any bond you have, you would be released. But you're going to see the judge in this case on November 21st at 8:30 to discuss the failure to pay on this DUI, okay? Did you have any questions? Okay, if you take a step to your left, the officer will get you that paperwork. Tanya to the podium. Ayana to the chair. May I get your name and date of birth?
Tanya Barker, 9/25/84.
Thank you, ma'am. You are here today on a warrant from the town of Wickenburg. It is for one count of driving with a license that was suspended, revoked, or canceled with an offense date of December 13th, 2024. It does look like it is a post-adjudication, meaning you likely failed to take some classes or pay some fines on that. Due to the nature of your charges, you're not entitled to court-appointed counsel. You are going to have a hearing, though, in Wickenburg on December 3rd at 9 a.m. I'm going to release you today on your own recognizance. That is your promise to appear at that hearing. You do have written conditions of release. It is going to include not possessing drugs without a valid prescription and not driving a motor vehicle without a valid driver's license. All of this will be in your paperwork. Did you have any questions? If you'll step to your left, ma'am, we'll get you that paperwork. Ayana to the podium, Matthew to the chair. May I get your name and date of birth?
Ayana Allen, 10/20/2007.
Thank you, ma'am. You are here today on a new case. It is for one count of criminal trespass of a residential structure, a Class 6 felony. Probable cause has been found, and I am appointing an attorney to represent you. You're going to have a status conference December 3rd at 8:30 and a preliminary hearing December 5th at 8:30. Those will both take place in our downtown Superior Courthouse. I am going to release you today on your own recognizance. That is your promise to appear at those hearings.
Yes,
You
ma'am.
do have written conditions of release. You may not return to the scene of the alleged crime. No contact with any alleged victim, complainant, or witness. You must also ensure you attend all of your future hearings. If you fail to appear, a warrant will issue, and then you will be held on bond at your next hearing. Did you have any questions?
Oh, ma'am.
Okay, just step to your left, the officer will get you that paperwork.
Thank you.
Matthew Clark to the podium. Zanaya Owens to the chair.
Good evening, ma'am.
May I get your name and date of birth?
Matthew Albert Clark. Sorry for the inconvenience.
And your date of birth?
040992.
Thank you, sir. You're here on two cases. The first one is a new case. The other one is your probation case.
Yes, ma'am.
Your new charges are for one count of dangerous drug possession, a Class 4 felony,
Yes, ma'am.
one count of drug paraphernalia possession, a Class 6 felony,
Yes, ma'am.
and one count of refusal to provide a true name, a Class 2 misdemeanor.
Yes, ma'am.
For purposes of today's hearing only, I am not finding probable cause for the dangerous drugs or the drug paraphernalia.
Yes, ma'am.
That doesn't mean it's dismissed. They may
Understood.
test the substance and move forward. I am finding probable cause for the refusal to provide a true name. Because you're on probation and you were picked up for a new offense, it is a Term 1 violation. So I am going to appoint an attorney in both cases and set a probation revocation hearing, November 24th at 8:30, a status conference, December 3rd at 8:30, and you don't have to remember them, they'll be in writing, but you do have 3 hearings coming up, and a preliminary hearing December 5th at 8:30. I am going to release you today on your own recognizance, subject to the supervision of the Adult Probation Department. You do have written conditions of release. You may not possess weapons or alcohol, and you must contact your probation officer within 72 hours of release. All of this will be in your paperwork, sir. Did you have any questions? No questions?
No, ma'am.
Okay, if you'll step to your left, the officer will get you that paperwork. Zanaya Owens to the podium and Michael Ritchie to the chair. Can I get your name and date of birth?
Zanaya Owens, November 11, 2005.
Thank you, ma'am. You're here today on a new case. It is for one count of criminal trespass of a residential structure, a Class 5 felony, Class 6 felony. Probable cause has been found, and I am appointing an attorney to represent you. You're going to have a status conference December 3rd at 8:30 and a preliminary hearing December 5th at 8:30. Those are both going to take place in our downtown Superior Courthouse. I am going to release you today on your own recognizance. That is your promise to appear at these hearings. You will have written conditions of release. You may not return to the scene of the alleged crime, no contact with the alleged victim, complainant, or witness, and then you need to ensure that you attend all of your hearings. If you fail to appear, a warrant would issue, and then you would be held on bond at your next hearing. Did you have any questions, ma'am?
No, ma'am.
If you'll step to your left, the officer will get you that paperwork. Michael Ritchie to the podium and Joshua Whitaker to the chair. Can I get your name and date of birth?
Michael Ritchie, June 3rd, 1985.
Thank you, sir. You are here today on a new case. It is for one count of dangerous drug possession, a Class 4 felony, one count of drug paraphernalia possession, a Class 6 felony. For purposes of today, I am not finding probable cause for these charges. That does not mean they are dismissed. so I'm appointing an attorney to represent you, and I'm going to give you some hearing dates. You need to ensure that you attend these hearings.
Yes.
If you fail to appear, a warrant will issue for your arrest, and you will be held on bond.
Okay.
Your hearings are going to be December 3rd at 8:30 and December 5th at 8:30.
All right.
All of that will be in your paperwork. Did you have any questions?
So I'll be released?
You are being released, sir.
All right, thank you.
All right, step to your left, the officer will get you that paperwork. Joshua Whitaker to the podium, Isaac Zuniga to the chair. May I get your name and date of birth?
Joshua Whitaker, 7/11/1991.
Thank you, sir. You are here today on two cases. You're here on a new case and a probation case. Your new charges are for 1 count of dangerous drug possession, a Class 4 felony, and 1 count of drug paraphernalia possession, a Class 6 felony. For purposes of today, I'm not finding probable cause for these charges. I am going to appoint an attorney and give you some hearing dates you need to attend. If you fail to appear at any of these, a warrant will issue and you will be held on bond. Your second case is your probation case because you were picked up for a new offense. However, I'm not finding probable cause, but I'm still going to give you a hearing date. So you have an attorney appointed in both cases. You have a probation revocation hearing November 24th at 8:30, a status conference on December 3rd at 8:30, and a preliminary hearing December 5th at 8:30. Again, ensure you attend all of these hearings, otherwise a warrant will issue. All of that will be in your paperwork. Did you have any questions?
No, ma'am.
Please take a step to your left. The officer will get you that paperwork. Isaac Zuniga to the podium, Donovan Herrera to the chair.
Hello, how you doing?
May I get your name and date of birth?
Isaac Zuniga, 8/31/93.
Thank you, sir. You are here today on a new case. It is for disorderly conduct, a Class 1 misdemeanor. Probable cause has been found. However, due to the nature of your charges, you are not entitled to court-appointed counsel. You're going to have an arraignment hearing December 8th at 9 a.m. in the Peoria Municipal Court.
So I'm staying?
I haven't gotten there yet.
Oh, sorry.
I do intend to release you today on your own recognizance. That's your promise to appear.
Yes.
You do have written conditions of release. It's my understanding that you live in the main house and the alleged victim lives in a detached house. Is that correct?
So we won't be sleeping together.
Okay. So you are not to go to their residence, even though it's...
A duplex?
Yeah, so make sure you only go to your portion of the residence and not the alleged victim's portion of the residence. It's also my understanding you have children together?
Yes.
Okay, so this isn't a parenting time order. However, if you need to contact her as it relates to the children, you may only do that via email and text messaging.
Okay.
And no harassment, okay?
Okay, sounds good.
Any questions?
No.
All right, please take a
Thank
step to
you.
your left. The officer will get you that paperwork. Donovan Herrera to the podium. Jose Gomez to the chair.
Hello.
May I get your name and date of birth?
Donovan Herrera, September 12, 2005.
Thank you, sir. You're here on two cases. You're here on a new case and a warrant. Your new case is from the West McDowell Justice Court for 1 count of driving with a license that was suspended, revoked, or canceled, a Class 1 misdemeanor. The warrant was issued from Tolleson Municipal Court, and it's for failure to pay on some fines from a DUI. In both of these cases, you're not entitled to court-appointed counsel due to the nature of your charges, but you're going to have some hearings coming up.
Okay.
On your new charges, you're going to have an arraignment hearing, December 2nd at 1:30. That's in the West McDowell Justice Court. On the warrant, it's an arraignment hearing December 8th at 8:30 in the Tolleson Municipal Court. I'm going to release you today on your own recognizance. That is your promise to appear at these hearings.
Yes, ma'am.
You do have written conditions of release. You may not possess any drugs without a valid prescription, and you may not drive a motor vehicle without a valid driver's license.
Yes.
That will all be in your paperwork. Did you have any questions?
Yeah, are my addresses and the times of what time I got to be there going to be on my paper?
Yes, everything will be in there.
Okay, thank you so
All
much.
right.
You
Thank
have
you,
a good
sir.
one.
Have a good night. You too. I'm ready for the interpreter. Good evening. Do I have a Spanish interpreter on the line?
Yes.
All right, we'll go ahead and begin. Can I have Mr. Gomez to the podium?
May I introduce myself?
Absolutely.
Buenas noches, seré su intérprete de español. Todo lo que diga permanecerá confidencial. Por favor, hable claro y en frases cortas para que pueda interpretar todo.
Good evening, sir. May I please get your name and date of birth?
Buenas noches, señor. ¿Me regala por favor su nombre y la fecha de nacimiento?
José Manuel Méndez Gómez, 2023.
José Manuel Méndez Gómez, 2023.
Mr. Interpreter, can you clarify what's his date of birth?
¿Podría clarificar cuál es su fecha de nacimiento?
El 2003, del 1 de octubre.
October 1st, 2003.
Have you ever used a date of birth of 1999?
¿Usted alguna vez ha utilizado una fecha de nacimiento de 1999?
No, los oficiales me pusieron esa edad. Se equivocaron.
No, the officers, they put that age. They were mistaken.
Thank you for the clarification.
Gracias por la clarificación.
You were here today on 2 cases.
El día de hoy usted está aquí por 2 casos.
The first case is a direct complaint that was filed with an offense date of June 17th, 2021.
El primer caso es directo y es presentado con fecha límite del 17 de junio de 2021.
It is for 1 count of narcotic drug possession for sale, a Class 2 felony.
Este se trata de un cargo de posesión de estupefacientes con fines de venta, un delito grave de clase 2.
1 count of possession of a weapon in a drug offense, a Class 4 felony.
Un cargo de posesión de arma de fuego y delito de drogas con delito grave de clase 4.
And 1 count of unlawful flight from a law enforcement vehicle, a Class 5 felony.
Y un cargo de fuga ilegal de un agente de la ley sería uno de clase 5.
I am appointing an attorney to represent you.
De igual manera, estoy nombrando a un abogado para que lo pueda representar a usted.
The other case you are here on is for failing to appear at a hearing.
El otro caso por el que usted está aquí es por fallar en presentarse a una audiencia.
And that case is for unlawful flight from a law enforcement vehicle.
Y ese caso se debe a que se trata de una fuga ilegal de un vehículo policial.
I'm going to affirm the attorney previously appointed in that case.
Y yo voy a asignar ese abogado anteriormente citado para ese caso.
You have 2 hearings coming up, November 24th and November 26th at 8:30 in the morning.
Tiene 2 próximas audiencias, una el 24 de noviembre, otra el 26 de noviembre a las 8:30 de la mañana.
In the case you failed to appear, you have a secured appearance bond in the amount of $1,000.
En caso de que usted no se presente, usted tiene una fianza de comparecencia garantizadas de un monto de $1,000.
However, on the second case, you are being held non-bondable.
Sin embargo, en el segundo caso, a usted se le coloca como retenido sin derecho a fianza.
Because you're currently in the primary custody of the federal government, you're not eligible to bond out at this time.
Como usted principalmente se encuentra bajo la custodia del gobierno federal, no tiene derecho a una fianza en este momento.
So even though the one case does have a $1,000 bond, posting it would not get you released at this time.
Aunque el primer caso tiene una fianza de $1,000, eso no le libraría en ese momento.
All of this will be in your paperwork. Did you have any questions?
Todo esto va a estar en el papeleo. ¿Usted tiene alguna pregunta?
Pues yo estaba en Lompo, California. Me trajeron para acá. ¿Qué va a suceder conmigo?
So I was at Lompo, California, and they brought me here. So what's going to happen with me?
They still have primary custody of you, and you will be returned to them at the conclusion of these cases.
Ellos todavía tienen custodia principal de usted y ellos lo van a regresar una vez concluyan estos casos.
Los cargos que me están asignando, quisiera que presentaran evidencia, porque pues nomás están hablando por hablar, porque no saben, nomás están diciendo cosas.
So for the charges that I'm being assigned, I would like them to present evidence because they're just talking for the sake of talking because they don't know, they're just saying things.
I have appointed an attorney to represent you to address these charges.
Yo le he asignado un abogado para que lo represente a usted sobre estos cargos.
And you are entitled to go to trial based on these allegations.
Y usted tiene derecho a ir a un juicio basadas en estas alegaciones.
En un dado caso que me sentencien, tengo entendido que no me pueden dar más de lo que me dieron allá y quisiera pedirle a la juez que si puede correrlo junto porque pues me dieron tiempo allá en la federal. ¿Sería probable eso?
In the event that I'm sentenced, I understand that they can't give me more than what they gave me there. And I would like to ask the judge that if she can run it together because they gave me time there in the federal court, would that be likely to happen?
That's something you'll have to discuss with your attorney.
Eso es algo que usted tiene que hablar con su abogado.
Okay, está bien.
Okay, fine.
If you will step to your left, the officer will get you that paperwork.
Si usted da un paso a la izquierda, el oficial le va a dar a usted el papeleo.
Okay, gracias.
Okay, thank you.
Can I have Mr. Alvarado to the podium?
¿Podemos colocar al señor Alvarado en el podio?
May I get your name and date of birth?
Hi, my name
Me regala su nombre.
Ángel Santiago.
Mr. Santiago, do you need the use of an interpreter? He is
Señor
shaking
Santiago,
his head
¿usted
yes.
necesita utilizar un intérprete?
Sí.
Yes.
I will just I'll ask that you wait until they translate before responding.
Solamente debe de esperar a que termine de traducir para que pueda responder, ¿vale?
May I get your name and date of birth?
Me regala por favor su nombre y la fecha de nacimiento.
Ángel Santiago, 12/10 del 99. Diciembre 10 del 99.
Ángel Santiago, December 10th, 99.
Thank you, sir. You're here today on a probation violation warrant.
Muchas gracias, señor. El día de hoy usted está aquí por una violación de libertad condicional.
I am appointing an attorney and setting a hearing November 24th at 8:30 in the morning.
He asignado un abogado y se le ha programado una audiencia para el 24 de noviembre a las 8:30 de la mañana.
I am setting a secured appearance bond in the amount of $1,000.
También se está colocando una comparecencia garantizada por un monto de $1,000.
In the event you post bond, you have written conditions of release, including calling your probation officer within 72 hours.
Esto es en el evento de que usted posponga la entrega de las condiciones de libertad por escrito, deberá llamar a su oficial de libertad condicional dentro de las 72 horas siguientes.
All of this will be in your paperwork. Please step to your left and the officer will give you that.
Tengo una pregunta.
I do have a question.
Yes, sir?
Sí, los $1,000, ¿para qué son los $1,000?
What are the $1,000 for?
Can you repeat the question?
The interpreter will repeat, what are the $1,000 for?
That's to ensure that you attend the hearing on November 24th.
Eso es para asegurarnos de que usted asista a su audiencia el 24 de noviembre.
Ok, pero o sea, no tengo posibilidad de salir hasta la corte o cómo?
So there is no way to get out of the court, or how?
If you post that bond, you'll be released. Otherwise, you'll stay in custody until that hearing.
Si se paga la fianza, usted será liberado. Si no, pues se va a quedar en custodia hasta la audiencia.
Okay, thank you. Gracias.
Thank you.
If you'll step to your left, the officer will get you that paperwork.
De un paso a la izquierda y el oficial le va a dar a usted el papeleo.
And that does conclude our Spanish matters. I appreciate your assistance. Feel free to disconnect at your convenience.
Thank you for using our services. Once again, my name is Moses, ID number 23276. Have a great night.
This does conclude our 11 p.m. calendar, and we will now stand in recess until 2 a.m.